Yada da 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 da. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. 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 That pop out chat one time. What the hell? What's going on, Nick? How's the Saturday night going? I don't even know what I just clicked. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. Don't need that. Get rid of this. Give me this. Oh shit, it's the wrong Chrome tab. Oh no. It's the wrong Chrome. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. Now let me pull. So I had to close the chat. Is anybody saying anything? I probably can't see it. Let me see if I can get it to pop back out again without it making it the prime. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. That should be. Yeah, we're ready to chop it up here. Hopefully, we got a good old-fashioned Oh yeah, they wanted me to pump my bit rate up. They keep asking me to do that. I keep thinking of, oh, I'll do that. And I never do. But the quality doesn't seem to be bad, so hopefully it's alright. We're just waiting for some people to trickle in here. Checking some of these scores of these NBA games. I need 9 assists from Jokic before this game ends. So we have a quarter. I need 1 assist. Oh, brother. Should be good, though. We should get that. Let people trickle on in. I think we had like 10 to 15 or so people that said let it ride tonight, so we're just gonna let it ride. Can't really click on that game too much because reasons before they take down the whole entire channel here showing NFL games. Got the tier list over here. I think this is everything that we've watched up until this point. And shout out to I actually had a Discord/Patreon member make this for us with everything that we've watched so far. I want to make sure we get it correct here. Yeah, shout out to Connor29, Patreon Discord member. Went ahead and chopped up everything that we've watched essentially up to this point. Put it in a little tier list for us. And we're gonna get into it. We are going to get into it. We'll just go, what time is it? 10:55 in the east. We'll give it a little bit. Let some people trickle in. And then we'll get into it. We will get into it. And what's coming up to the end here for us? We have, what, 5 episodes left of Mob Psycho? We have 2 episodes left. Well, Mob Psycho is going to be 100% done. Like, there's no more seasons. Like, that's it. It's got a handful of episodes left of Mob Psycho. We got 2 episodes left before the Jujutsu Kaisen season ends. We're making our way with Berserk. I mean, we already kind of know how that story goes, so it's going to be nothing too different. And yeah, that's essentially where we're at. Can I pull this off of here and it not show? Ooh, perfect. Perfect. Give me the chat. But yeah, we'll let some other people trickle in and get into that. What is word on the street? There's a My Hero trailer out, but supposedly it wasn't supposed to be out, so they pulled it. So like I saw a lot of people just bashing the hell out of it on Twitter, so I can't tell if they yanked it because of the backlash and they want to polish it up some more, or if it truly wasn't supposed to come out and they yanked it. I have no idea. As far as that goes, no idea. But I saw like some pretty reputable YouTube channels and Twitter pages that, you know, are verified and all that type of things, and only post like official stuff, that were posting, you know, the new My Hero trailer. So it looked like it was like an official release, like My Hero, like who does the Mappa? Do they do My Hero? Whoever the studio is, but I don't know. It seemed like the My Hero team had agreed, like, okay, this is the official trailer. Here it is. Let it out. It's out on all the anime sites, blogs. And then I saw a bunch of backlash for the trailer. I haven't seen it. And then I saw those same reputable channels come back and say, oh, you know, My Hero said this wasn't the actual official trailer, so we decided to pull it. I'm like, well, was it? And it just got yanked because of the backlash of it? Or what are we saying? So either it was officially released, public thought it was shit, they're like, let's pull it, let's clean it up and re-put it back out, or it was accidentally put out. I don't know. Either way, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's looking a little for essentially a studio and an anime as big as My Hero, for the quality that they're pumping out. Now again, we've seen before, and this is for movies too, not just for animes, but like trailers aren't the finished product, but you don't want it to look complete ass. So I don't know what the word is, if that was really the trailer or not. It was meh, Keith. It's going on Polarizer. It is the official? Well, that ain't good. What's going on, Connor? Connor, we're using your tier list, so shouts out to Connor for providing us with the tier list we got going here. It is 10:59 on the easts. We'll give it maybe 5 or 10 more minutes and get this thing started. What's going on, Pedro? Yeah, depending on the series, I'll watch. But I know how like popular or popular hated My Hero is. When I saw the official trailer, I'm like, damn, that's coming back. The only reason that came up in my head was because I was going to ask you guys, what's releasing next year? My Hero. What else do we have coming down the pipeline for 2024? Any big name shows? I'm assuming Demon Slayer. I also saw reports that Demon Slayer's doing like another like movie rehash into a season. Are we doing that again? So I think we've got what, Demon Slayer and My Hero next year. What else? Is Chainsaw Man? Maybe, I would assume. Vinland as well, possibly. I don't. What studio? Mappa not Mappa. Wait, who does? I don't know. Who does My Hero? What studio does My Hero? Number 1, and then number 2, what other shows does that studio do? Is it just My Hero that it looks like they're slacking on, or like what's the deal? Why is it coming out so shit? Why are they having issues? Also, the background music. Good volume, bad volume. Pick it up, pick it down. Voice good. Bones. Okay. Is this what Studio Bones does here? Or are there good shows that they're pumping out right now? Is this even right? Yeah, My Hero. Okay. Oh, they did Mob Psycho? Or just the first season? No, they did Mob Psycho season 2 as well. And 3. Huh. Did they? Is that correct? Huh. That's wild that it... The quality for Mob Psycho seems leaps and bounds better than anything I've seen My Hero ever put out in their lives. And I feel like Mob Psycho isn't even half as popular as what My Hero is. At least not in the circles that I seem to be echo chambered in. Interesting. The reason we have this game up here is I need 1 assist from Jokic for one of my tickets today. So we're just going to keep peeping this score as people trickle in. I need 9 assists. He's at 8. We got 9 minutes to get 1. Hopefully he gets his big ass back in the game. What are we saying here? We're talking about the My Hero trailer on why it looks so shitty. Like, is it official and they took it off because, oh, it got backlash? Or was it not supposed to come out and they took it down? So the Hashira training arc is coming up. This is high. The volume's high for this. I'll turn it down a little bit. Y'all let me know if that is better, that you can still hear it. Hear it, but not hear it enough over me. Turn it down a little bit. ReZero Season 3. I don't know what ReZero is. Yeah, so they do Mob Psycho and My Hero, huh? Interesting. Why does it look like they pump so much more quality into Mob Psycho? That's crazy. Interesting. Well, the reason the whole if you're just now getting in here, the reason the whole My Hero conversation even brought up is what do we have coming up? Animes releasing in... What are some big name? I mean, My Hero, I'm assuming Demon Slayer is coming out as well. Oh, the Dragon Ball kitty shit. I'm assuming My Hero, Demon Slayer, just off top of my head. Are we getting a chainsaw? Possibly? I don't even know if any of these websites are like worth clicking on. Are we getting a Vinland? I don't know. I don't know. I don't recognize any of these names. Some of these might be really big animes. I've just never. Winter. I don't even think this list is up to date because they're still over here talking about Attack on Titan. Anime of the year. That's tough. And it's like, do you put what Attack on Titan, like, are we considering that, like, I guess that's a whole nother question. Do you consider anime movies anime? Like, would you guys say that is or is not? Like, if someone was to ask you, like, what's your favorite anime? What's your favorite season? If somebody came back and answered you, like, a One Piece movie, or, you know, an Attack on Titan, one of like the final movies, or a Demon Slayer, one of the movies, would that count as anime to you, or would you not count that as like a season? I don't know. Excuse me, Zarif, the tactician? The Dragon Ball thing was canceled? Okay. I know a troll when I see one. What? 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 I feel like I would have seen that. Let me catch up on some of these. I'm falling behind on the chat. The Dragon Ball shit looks sad. I mean, yeah, I'll watch it if it comes out, but
I had no idea I would end up creating.
I mean, I would love it, Nick, if we ever got a representation. Ooh, Jokic got his assist. All right, we cashed out for the night. Perfect. We needed 9. He got 9. Nice. Hey, no worry, Jason. Appreciate you stopping by. Y'all check out the VOD if you don't have time to stay for the whole thing. So you wouldn't count specials or movies? Okay, that's fair enough. So what would you guys count the Attack on Titan stuff that they put out? The hour-and-a-half long things. Are we counting those, like, are we counting those as specials? Are we counting those as... Because if I remove the Attack on Titan final part 6, 8 of 9, 10, whatever, it's a toss-up for me between Vinland Saga Season 2 and Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 as anime of the year for me. It would be between those two. Yeah, I saw some Code Geass rumblings. You're counting them? Alright, Jokic hit. Cool. We don't really need to look at it. Is it can't? I don't know. Could. Huh. Yeah, so the question we have going on right now is like, what was your anime of the year? And my thing is like, if you're going to include, if we're saying that like specials or hour-long movies or whatever, if they're canon, if we're including those, it's Attack on Titan for me. But just because Attack on Titan's my favorite, so I might have a biased answer. If you want to remove that, if you want to say anime of the year, it's going to be hard for like a season 2 of an anime to compete with like a 10-year, decade-long wrap-up of a season. So like if we're saying what was my anime of the year of currently ongoing animes that didn't just have climax endings, God, that's tough between Vinland Saga and Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, and they're complete opposite ends of the spectrum. One has had non-stop action going for like 20 episodes. The other barely had any action across all of it. And it's insane. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. Actually insane. Vinland Saga was good. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's still not done. I mean, yeah, the two final episodes could sway the entire season for sure. But it's been very strong. It's been very strong. So like the 2 episodes to like bring it down would have to be really, really bad. I haven't seen anything on Chainsaw Man. Yeah, and there might be some good animes out there, so I can't really comment on some of the animes that I just haven't got to. Like, I'm sure there's good quality top tier stuff that I just haven't gotten to, you know.
Searching for music for your next video? Then you need to check out Artlist. With amazing new music added daily and one simple license that...
Oh, man.
Artlist is the music licensing
What can you
platform for
do?
all
What
creators.
can be done, you know?
Start now and find the perfect song.
I keep losing the chat.
Artlist.
I don't know what was voted. What voted it? Like who? It's so subjective to like who gets to vote or whatever. But I saw on Twitter that not Jujutsu Kaisen, Vinland Saga Season 2 won Anime of the Year, according to who? I don't know who it was that like took the vote that came out and said that, but I did see that. Now, is that the end all be all? No. But I did see that floating around. I don't know if that was just like some random like studio with 10 people like, oh, they voted, or this is like a reputable like, oh, that's a pretty big thing. Like anybody, it's like any artist can win like an MTV award. Everyone's like, oh, okay, so you won an MTV award, but like if you say you won a Grammy, oh, okay, so I respect that. So I don't know if it's like, oh, Vinland Saga, like, oh, they got to vote for Anime of the Year, okay, or it's like, oh, okay, that vote was pretty serious. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on One Punch Man. Nothing. Zaref, I don't disagree with that. Up to this point in the story, I don't feel like there's no really deep substance to Jujutsu Kaisen. But I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen, there's still a lot to go. I don't want to compare like, oh, say this is what it is. But it's kind of like with Dragon Ball, where like when you go to watch Dragon Ball, when you go to that door and you open the door to step in to watch Dragon Ball, you have to leave like expectations like at the door for certain things. I'm not going to get Death Note level twists and turns or Attack on Titan world building crazy reverse. You did that, no, I did that. You're not going to get that. So you have to approach it with like what you're going to watch. And I feel like I've gotten to a point with that with Jujutsu Kaisen that I'm not going here to find out who's checkmating who, but then actually checkmating. Now, could they get a little deeper into the story? Maybe, but now it just seems like fight who's coming with the better ability or better curse or better whatever. There doesn't seem to be another like level to the storytelling yet, though. We're only in season 2. Now, manga readers can answer better, but who knows if it'd be spoiler or not, if that gets better or it just kind of stays like this. I don't know. Oh, IGN had the vote? Interesting. What's up, Luis? So, before we jump into this, we got the tier list right here. Y'all let me know if the music is good. Does my voice need to come up? Does the music need to come down? And then what do we got for 2024? What's coming out this year? That's like supposed to be big. Demon Slayer, I think. And we talked about the My Hero and the controversy of like, is that supposed to be an official trailer, or is it because it got shit on, they pulled it back and said it wasn't official? I don't know. I would think I think we should be getting Demon Slayer, My Hero, and Chainsaw Man at least, no? I think. I don't know if we're expecting to see Jujutsu Season 3 or Vinland Saga Season 3. I'm not sure. Solo Leveling. I hear a lot of people talk about this. I know nothing about it. Couldn't tell you. So that's coming. Classroom Elite. Hear people talk about that. Never seen it. Blue Exorcist. I don't think I've heard of that. Never heard of that. Never heard of that. Never heard of that. Nope. Bleach. Bleach is still on. Oh yeah, Bleach did come back. I was like, Bleach is still ongoing? Yeah, okay. But they don't have any... But they don't mention My Hero, Demon Slayer, or Chainsaw Man in this at all? I'm pretty sure we're getting those next year, but who knows. Voice is good? Cool. I can hear my voice if I crank this up. But I gotta crank it down, and the music's gonna blow my ears out. Chainsaw Man? Okay. I'm gonna have to get on some of those. I've heard of some of those. I just haven't gotten to them. At all. All of it. I've heard of Solo Leveling. I've heard of it a lot, actually. But I couldn't tell you in your wildest dreams what it's about, what it's supposed to be. Nothing. Nothing at all. Couldn't tell you. Alright, by 11:25 my time, so within the next 10 minutes we're going to start this thing. Where are we at? It says we got about 15 or so people in here. Has spiked up to 40 at a point in time. And we're going to start it. So no Chainsaw Man. So I'm trying to think of what I'm watching, what we're getting for sure. I'm pretty sure it's Demon Slayer and My Hero. Both coming off of eyebrow-raising seasons, in my opinion. I don't know if that's the collective thought, but somebody said, do I think Jujutsu Kaisen is getting carried by its fights, which is TBD, but possibly. Is this a true statement? And I'll ask you guys. Is Demon Slayer up to this point? Because we've gotten content, and I don't. At this point, I feel like we know what Demon Slayer is. I don't feel like we're getting any crazy Death Note, Attack on Titan reveals or anything crazy like that. Is Demon Slayer carried by its art and animation? And does Demon Slayer take a hit to you when it never did to me? But I see a lot of people talk about this online. Which, what do people not argue about online? Does Demon Slayer take a hit for you when you as the viewer know that, like, nobody actually sees all the water and fire and lightning with all the breathing, and that's just for a cosmetic effect for the viewer? Does that lower it to you, knowing that, or does it not change anything for you? What, like Solo Leveling? So, like, if you're anime only, does it not matter to you that the effects are essentially there just for viewers? Or does that lower it to you? Or does it not matter to you? I'd be curious to what you guys say on that. We got 5, 10, 20. Never thought too hard about it. Last Demon Slayer season was so meh. Like, there's Demon Slayers in the manga who can send tornadoes with their sword. Honestly, it never hit for me, but I see people that, like, are passionate about it. They're like, oh, once I found out that, like, they're not really producing the water and the fire, I can't take Demon Slayer serious. No, it never hit. That, for me, it didn't, but I see that's a big argument. Anything people can argue on, they'll argue about online, right? So maybe that is an issue for you. But I guess to the point is, like, is Demon Slayer being carried by its art and animation? At the beginning, I wouldn't say that after the first season. I'm like, well, let it get some traction. Let it get a little bit of juice going. But the quality of, like, I guess maybe just story in general just hasn't really been... I don't know. We'll get into that when we rank. When we rank. Pretty much. Honestly, the best part of Demon Slayer is the Upper Moon meeting. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. That whole thing, what was so crazy is like, and also I will still stay, I'll die on that hill to this day. That opening episode where they're going through the layer, the fucking, I don't even know how you pronounce the studio, Ufotable or whatever. That animation, that music, that meeting the upper moons, Muzan there, all of it. That came out this year, right? Is one of the best episodes of any anime all year, in my opinion. Like if we're ranking, like give me your top 10 anime episodes of the year. That episode is there. It sucks how the rest of the season went. That like there's the very first episode of the season comes off like, holy shit, could this be episode of the year? And then like what happened? What happened? I don't know. Yeah, Sam, it's TBD if I'm going to put Jujutsu Kaisen in the same box as Demon Slayer. I need to see a little bit more. To be honest, I don't feel like there's any real depth to any of them, of either characters on either side, yet on Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen. Honestly, I'm like, let's like, if you could think of like who we've seen up to this point, if you're anime only, if you put both cast of characters into the same basket, who's got the most depth of characters of that? What are we gonna say? Nanami is like top of putting all the characters together? Like of all Demon Slayer and all, like who got the most screen time? Who was able to get fleshed out? Who was able to have emotional moments? Who actually was able to speak and do things? Like, I guess it maybe goes to Nanami. I would think. Geto, yeah, you could put Geto in there as well. Honestly, now that I start thinking about it side by side, I would say probably the Jujutsu Kaisen characters are better. And that's not saying much. I feel like that's not saying a lot. But man, what happened to Demon Slayer? What happened to it, man? What happened? What the hell happened to those boys? That is insane. What the hell happened? Yeah, and the thing, Alan, with that is like, how many movies or things have you seen that where like the main character gets whatever slaughtered in the first episode and then like, that's like peak of emotions for them. And I'll never, ever forgive that shit. If you're caught up, I hope that you guys are caught up on all these animes that we're talking about here, because I don't want to spoil things, but what they did with Nezuko, it just pisses on a lot of that season for me, just the whole moment. I hate that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in all the stories, and you guys know this now if you've been watching our reactions, and we don't have the most subscribers and the views in the world, but you guys that are here that watch things, one of my biggest pet peeves is death fake outs, especially dragged out death fake outs. What they did with that whole Nezuko situation, woo-wee, man. That puts a stinker on the season for me. I'll never forgive him. I'll never forgive him. I don't know. I saw a lot of things. I don't want to get into it. I saw a lot of people talking about this is why she could or couldn't and could and couldn't. So we'll just wait till they address that in the anime, I guess. I'm really worried if Demon Slayer's, I mean, if Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna be able to keep up with what they just put out. Like, did they just peak? Did Jujutsu Kaisen peak? Okay, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to it. Would Jujutsu Kaisen put out this? Again, it's not in depth. It's very surface level fights. There's gonna be abilities. It seems like it's a very like counter like Pokemon battle. This counters this. This is a good matchup for this. Blah blah blah. X Y Z. So we'll see if that can sustain itself. Some shows can, because I feel like, and you can hate on Dragon Ball and say it's all you want, and there's no real death factor, and everybody can come back to life, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah, whatever. But like, you already know that going into Dragon Ball, like that's the charm of it. And I feel like Dragon Ball never tries to be anything. And then they'll do little different abilities, like, you know, they start introducing the gods and the angels and those type of things, and they'll introduce characters with new abilities, like Hit with his time skip ability, and Goku and Vegeta training to get God mode, and you know, all those type of things. So they'll add those, but it never really tries to go outside that lane. I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen is yet to show me where they're trying to keep their lane. I feel like they're trying to swerve in different ones, and they've kind of cut. So we're gonna have to wait to see where they go. Wow, they lost. Sucks to suck. We got what we needed, though. I needed 12 assists. By God, we got it. Well, I guess we'll kind of wait to see if there's any anime news coming out. This whole what comes out next year debate started because of the My Hero shitstorm that seemed to be going on Twitter. With the trailer that's like, is official, is not official, is it just not official because it was ass? I don't know. Sam, what anime will have to carry season 3? Jujutsu, I'm assuming? Connor, don't get... I've already gone off on Demon Slayer. That season, man. Just... yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Favorite Dragon Ball transformation? Man. Honestly, the original Frieza transformation, seeing him come down is pretty great. Cell's multiple level transformation. But if we're talking about, like, of the Super Saiyan ones, I think one of my favorite transformations, I mean, everyone likes Super Saiyan 3, like the original one, right? I think my favorite is Vegeta going blue in the movie. I think that was my favorite one. Dang, so we got no One Punch Man either. So this is probably one of my favorite transformation. I can't get a better quality than this? No, this is probably it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. This is probably one of my favorite transformations. The sound, the way they have it crackle off of him piece by piece. I gotta turn this up in the headphones. It's so great. It like crackles off of him as he walks away. Oh God. It's probably one of the cleanest ones in my opinion. For me. That's just that great. Especially after he slaps the Destructo disc. So great. Yeah. Yeah. That's up there. That's up there. That is up there. All right, let's see what we got. Let's do it. All right, this is what we're here for. Oh, that's not what we're here for. This is what we're here for. You guys should be able to see this. So we have, courtesy of Connor in the chat. I mean, yeah, for sure. And I mean, Broly's in the movie is kind of fucking great. It's pretty great.
Discover more with Mary.
But courtesy of Connor in the chat, we have everything I've watched up to this point right here. We're gonna rank this fucker. Now, some of it's gonna be a little incomplete and a little unfair because some series have finished, some I'm in the middle of, some are incomplete. But we're gonna do the best we can. This is up there with transformations, with Dragon Ball transformations. This is up there. He blames his father's death on.
Broly, look! It's such a tragedy!
His father's dead.
It's your father! He was killed by a stray energy blast!
It's pretty good. Because you never get his color scheme and aura with anything else that they've ever done. And this art style is like unique to Dragon Ball as well at this time. And no one else ever gets that green tint and haze to them. And when he comes out, yeah, that's up there. That's up there in all-time Dragon Balls for sure. It's pretty, I mean, that's got to be in the top 5 Dragon Ball transformations for sure.
Yes, there it is! Show me your power!
For sure. They went crazy with the colors on this. I haven't watched this in a while. Ooh. I haven't seen the superhero movie yet, Slobber. I haven't seen it. Yeah, that goes pretty great. That's pretty great. Alright. So here we at. Here's where we're at. And what we got going. Here's where we're at, and here's where we're going. I think the only... So let's get to ranking here. We've discussed, and we can discuss. We're gonna discuss during, after, so y'all feel. Oh, we got 24. Sheesh. I mean, if we got to go live at midnight, most nights, let me know. Let's get some of the easy stuff out the way. And I skimmed this list like a day ago. I wanted to like give it some good thought. Didn't want to be too harsh, too much fanboying, too much all that. No, Con, I just really haven't gotten to it. There's so much I'm trying to react to and stay on top of. I don't know how some of these reacting channels do it. Maybe they make enough money so it's like their full-time thing, so they don't have to do anything outside of it, like in the other hours in the day. But priority is number one, is trying to make sure that the Patreon members like have the stuff that they're paying for. So I try to stay as ahead on top of the One Piece as I can, because I know that's what the majority of the Patreon members are there for, is the One Piece. So try to stay on top of that. While you'll have series that are newly coming out, like Mob Psycho and Jujutsu, that I try to stay on top of as well, with the Vinland and the manga chapters and everything else that I just haven't. I didn't want to take. It's hard for me to. I don't want to commit to taking on other things that get stalled out or have me slow down other things. Like I see some reaction channels, like this list that I have here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'll see some reaction channels. And maybe, I mean, shit, maybe that's the difference between them and me, that are like doing this amount of series at one time. And I'm like, how is that possible? How do you keep up with any of the stories, any of the characters' names, any of emotions, anything? Like, how do you remember anything that's going on? I mean, shit, maybe that's the difference between them being able to pump it out full time for money and me not. But like, it's crazy when I see some channels that are doing like 10 shows at a time and movies. I'm like, holy shit, y'all are built different. Maybe having full-time editors and all you have to do is press play and then click a file and hit send and let somebody else deal with it and upload it. It could be a different story, but I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. So the My Hero trailer was real but was leaked. Now, was it real and unfinished? Or was it real and they just didn't want it out yet? Yeah, simple. I think that's because that is their full-time thing. Like, I'm having to sit down and watch things as I go through the day. It's like, oh, I have an hour. Let me get a One Piece reaction in. But I know a lot of reaction channels that like they sit there and mark out like 6-hour blocks and will react to like 5 different shows at a time and multiple episodes back to back. Let me hear the take. I'm listening. Oh yeah, watching with groups is much. They didn't want it out yet. All right, so we're gonna start it right now. We can get the easy stuff out of the way, right? We can get the real easy stuff out of the way. Attack on Titan goes here. Say what you want. You like it, you don't like it, whatever you want. If you're here, you already know that goes there. That's a pretty easy thing. I don't know if I have Death Note also in S, but what I will tell you is Death Note is up there as well. All right, boom, bop, boom. We've got those two just done, out the way. True, if it was full time, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Gabriel, those first Hunter x Hunter chapters were pretty great. I'm hoping we had a big Hunter x Hunter discussion when we did the live stream of it. I'm hoping that we can recreate that magic. I sure do hope. Now, speaking of Hunter x Hunter, I don't know where I have it as far as like, is it A, is it not? But I know it's going to be at least B. So we've got those going. Okay. I know this isn't going to be popular, but you already know I love Tokyo Ghoul. I've watched all of it. I think I don't even know what I put on the channel and what I didn't. I think I watched the first 2 seasons by myself before I had started reacting. And then I tried to do season 3 and season 4. And Tokyo Ghoul almost got the channel copyright striked, not claimed. I get 50 copyright claims a month. If I could tell you how many times One Piece and Mob Psycho and Jujutsu copyright claim me, happens all the time. But claims are nothing. You get claimed, I just delete it, fix the claim, put it back up. We're good to go. Tokyo Ghoul striked, and then they striked a second, and then they striked a third. Back to back to back. I was like, okay, we will not do that again. I had to create a backup channel. That was some rough times. I'm gonna put it. We'll see. This could go up, this could go down. We'll see. We're just trying to get some of these up here. We're gonna Hunter x Hunter's grown on me in the last like year or so, I feel like. I actually don't. Mei. I love season 1 and season 2 Tokyo Ghoul. It's, if I was just ranking shows off like first 2 seasons, it would be up here for me. But, and I actually don't even hate the season 3 and season 4. I actually don't even really hate them. It's just very confusing at parts, but I thought the anime, I didn't hate it. One Piece is gonna sit here for now. It could go up, it could go down. Naruto is actually gonna sit here for now as well. Naruto, we'll see. I'm gonna put these here for now, guys. Everybody relax, calm down. We might change them. I'm just trying to get things up on the board, okay? I already know. Just let me get some of this stuff up here. Where's the other one? It's twin that goes right next to it. You. All right, those two. Go right there. Mob is in this area as well. Actually, I'm going to put all these in B, but some of these are coming down. I just don't know where I have them specifically yet. Invincible can go here. Code Geass can sit here for now as well. Original Dragon Ball's not bad. Dragon Ball Z is when shit gets really peak. This can sit here as well. Monster, I did not hate. Parasite was an interesting one. One Punch can go here. Oh, is that one Shippuden? Oh, this is Naruto and that's Shippuden. Okay. Let's switch a little bit of this. And Boruto can go down here. Demon Slayer can sit about here. My Hero. These are not final. We're just trying to get them on paper, guys, and we're going to adjust them. This one's what? Chainsaw? Okay. And then Berserk, which we're kind of in the middle of, so it's kind of hard. Okay, so we've got them on paper. Everything's flowing. Let's see what the chat's saying. I already know the Fullmetal is going to be a great one. I know I get Code. If people tell me about Code, I actually am thinking about giving Code Geass another run. I think I might need to do that with Fullmetal as well. But I mean, there's sometimes like you just might not enjoy things, but I feel like for things to be such highly rated, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to go back and give Fullmetal another run and give Code Geass another run. But I'll tell you right now, I remember just in it, I enjoyed Code Geass more than Fullmetal. I just did. Alright, I do agree, Sam. Fullmetal is overrated. When I see it like 101 on... Okay, so we have people in the chat. How many people we got in the chat right now? We got about 20 to 30. Let's be real. Be real with me. I know this is only 20 to 30 of probably 20 to 30 million people that have seen it react to anime. Is Fullmetal a top anime? Be real with me. Well, I don't care if you want to say Brotherhood or not Brotherhood, whichever one you think's the better one. Are we putting it up there? Be for real. When I see all these websites and Twitter polls and manga review websites that rate it 101 of 1 or 102, be real with me. Come on, be real. Is it 101? Is it 102? Top 3 all time? It's not. It's not. Okay. It's not. I don't know. That shit is just way too high.
Including Apple subscriptions. Apple gift cards can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows.
6 out of 10. It's top 10. Low A. No. It's a good show. B. Well, right now, you'll see anime websites ranking animes. Fullmetal will come out like number 1 or number 2, or Fullmetal will have like a 9.9, 9.8 out of 10. Give me your ranking of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which everyone says you gotta watch Brotherhood. Brotherhood, right now, out of 10. What are we ranking that? It's not in the 9s, to me. It's not in the 9s. It's not. No, just the anime itself. Because I feel like majority of people probably are just speaking anime, so we're just gonna go with the anime itself. Yeah, I don't... 7 out of 10, 8, 7, solid 9, 10. 7, 6, 7. See, I feel like those are respectable answers. It seems like we're getting a lot of 7s. Like, so right there, like it's above average. It's a good show. This is blasphemous and getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. Okay, what we do know is Attack on Titan is going to be S. Death Note is going to be A. Vinland Saga grew on me a lot, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't like it as much as the hype it was getting for Season 1. I'm like, oh, here we go, another thing that's getting overhyped again. But I rewatched it, and Season 2 was really good. And I don't know what it was about Season 2 that was really good, because there wasn't a lot of shit going on. There was one setting the whole time. There was like 3 characters the whole time. But it was good. It was good. Not F, though. I was never interested in Fullmetal. Great moments, but it bored me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it does not deserve to be number 1 when I see on all these anime lists and shit. People blow that shit way. I was surprised I enjoyed Season 2 as well. I really was. I think what happened was it was one of those overhyped things that got to me. Because I don't think I've seen anything like that on the internet from that point to now that I saw with Vinland Saga. Some people that I follow, or like I'll get recommended on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, that don't even do anime like that or have any anime like that, we're talking about Vinland Saga. I was like, holy shit, what am I about to get into? And I watched Season 1, I was like, that was fine. It was fine. It was fine. But Twitter was going insane. I was like, wow. I was like, it was just fine. And then when I rewatched it again, or I would watch like parts of it again, I'm like, okay, that's a little bit better. And I don't know why Season 2 was good. I don't know why it was good. It was just good. It was pretty damn good. No, Alan, this isn't the final list. This is not the final list. We just got everything on paper. We're going to be shuffling this around. We had a talk earlier. Is Jujutsu Kaisen being carried by fights? That's TBD. I need to see another season. Alright, so let's kind of shuffle this a little bit here. What do we think is as good as Death Note that we enjoyed? Did we enjoy Hunter x Hunter as much as that? I think we did, actually. But the thing is, like, I feel like I enjoyed... Here's the thing. I enjoyed Death Note more than Hunter x Hunter. Did I enjoy them that as much? But then, does that mean this goes here? But these are rankings left to right, too, though, by the way. Mob. This last season of Mob has been interesting, so I feel like it's sitting in a good spot. Shippuden over Super. This goes here. One Piece is going to need to come down just because I haven't gotten enough of One Piece yet to really give it. I'll prefer OG Dragon Ball over OG Naruto any day of the week. Jujutsu Kaisen over that over that. Monster's got to come down a bit. Actually, Invincible needs to come down. It could come down here next to Boruto. I'm not going to lie to you there, Chief. Monster, Code Geass, Parasite. Yeah, see, these 3 are like interchangeable to me. Like Parasite, Monster, Code Geass, Parasite, Monster, Code Geass, Monster, Parasite, Code Geass. Take your pick. I think I would go Monster, Code Geass, Parasite. I would put My Hero above One Punch. I put My Hero above Demon Slayer. Chainsaw can go above that. I can't, even though as bad as Demon Slayer was recently, I'm not going to put Chainsaw Man above it just yet. I think I did prefer Fullmetal over Avatar, though. Boruto and Invincible. Okay, now the list is getting a little bit cleaner. Okay. But then when I look at the top and I ask myself, I'm like, is Vinland Saga in my top 5 dead or alive? Is it? Is it? And is Z better than Mob? Does this need to go like this? OG Dragon Ball over OG Naruto is nuts? Absolutely. No way. No way we said that. We didn't say 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 that. We didn't really mean that. You didn't mean that. Jujutsu Kaisen, it's having a strong comeback. I need to see how these 2 episodes end. I could easily see Jujutsu Kaisen going like here. Maybe here, back end B, top of C, back end B, top of C. Because like I said, again, this isn't a whole. As great as this season has been, what is Jujutsu Kaisen giving you besides fights? It's B for, and you could say the same thing about Dragon Ball as well. But I feel like Dragon Ball, it doesn't try to be. And we were saying this earlier. I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen is like, are things deep? Are they in it? So I just need to see. I need to see a little bit more there. Yeah, and I need more of Chainsaw Man. Like, Chainsaw Man was a cool watch. But honestly, actually, I think I prefer One Punch Man over Chainsaw Man, to be honest with you. Yeah, simple stories are fine. Not everything has to be Attack on Titan or Death Note deep. You know, it doesn't have to be. You just need to be good at what you do. And I need to see a little bit more out of Jujutsu Kaisen. But if you wanted to say back, if you wanted to put like Jujutsu Kaisen here, sure. But here's the thing, like, when I put it up here, the reason I feel like I can't put it up here is because there's no way 2 seasons of Jujutsu Kaisen are as good as all of Naruto Shippuden. Call Naruto what you want. Call it filler. Call it Talk no Jutsu. Call it just 2 destined boys fighting each other. Call it whatever you want. It's characters getting left off to the side. Every anime has its flaws. But there's just no way that there's like 40 episodes of Jujutsu we're saying is comparable to all of Shippuden. Is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It's insane to even make that statement, in my opinion. You just can't make that statement. You can't.
Holidays start here.
Jujutsu is giving the best.
Jujutsu
Jujutsu is giving me the best action scenes. The depth of Mahito and Gojo. Is there depth of Gojo? Does Gojo have depth? I don't know.
And right now you can save when you shop your faves.
I enjoyed Monster, but ranked next to everything else is just kind of where it is. Like I said, I feel like Monster, Code Geass, and Parasite are just all interchangeable to me. They're all kind of in that. Yeah, and see, this is the thing, guys. Like, some of you might be manga readers. You might have a bigger, clearer picture on what Jujutsu Kaisen is and the direction that it's going to. Same thing for One Piece. Give me another year, One Piece might be right here. One Piece could be here. Shit, One Piece could end up all the way down here. I have absolutely no idea. But I can only go off of what I've consumed at this point. So some of these I'm going to need a little bit more from. I'm going to tell you right now, My Hero and Demon Slayer keep doing what they're doing. They're going to end up down here next to Boruto in a minute. Okay, probably not that bad, but they're going to end up down here. I didn't hate Monster, but it was a real slow burn, almost too slow at times. And I feel like Tenma was left off screen for way too big a chunks at a time. And we'd get introduced to some characters just to see their involvement with Johan, and we'd give them like a good chunks of episodes and then leave. I don't know. I didn't hate it. It wasn't the worst thing I've watched, as you can see. And I feel like maybe I'm ranking My Hero a little too low. I feel like I might put My Hero here. Because I'm trying to remember all that the good that My Hero has in it. I think that's a little too low. I also think same for Demon Slayer. Might be just a drop too low. Vagabond's been solid. Vagabond seems pretty straightforward at the moment. I think we're going to be on Monday. Once Monday hits, we'll be on like chapter 12, 13. It's pretty straightforward so far, so it's been good. It hasn't really garnered like deep discussions because it's not like Berserk where like, okay, what is this demonic shit? Like, is that real? What does this mean? Demons, gods. But it's been fine. The animation looks, the art looks great. So I'm interested to see kind of where it goes. Yeah. I think we had to move. Junko, I agree. I think My Hero needs to come up a little bit. Because there's been peaks of My Hero. There really has. Season 1 of My Hero, especially that tournament, which you could say like, oh, well, you know, it's a tournament arc. You know, that's the best part of every anime, which you can make that debate that most anime's tournament arcs usually end up being some of the best parts of it. But that's pretty great. And it gives... the My Hero starting to go the Naruto route, in my opinion, to where there was a point in time where we were kind of like all able to fuck with each other. Todoroki and Bakugo and this and Deku and that like it was like a three-way like Pokemon battle, like rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Like, I could beat you, this could beat that. This person from class 1B could beat you, this could beat that. Season 2 was fine as well. You get to see Endeavor, you get to see All Might, you get to see do all this shit. Oh shit, we introduced Miria, who even All Might himself said like that could be the perfect like superhero. Like, he was my choice. Like, he's like, people were fucking, Aizawa was saying like he's the #1 hero of the like just, and all this stuff. And now we're starting to go down this path of like reincarnated vestiges. Like, it's just going to be Shigaraki that means a damn. It's just going to be Deku that means a damn. It's pretty much only going to be those two that have any weight of fight. But My Hero had some good in it, man. Okay, it had some good in it, and even this last season had some good in it. The overhaul stuff, great content. Mirio, great content. But it has lost its way just a little bit. You could maybe even make a case that I'd put, I don't know, it's somewhere in here. It's somewhere in here. Dropped off after Todoroki vs. Deku? Okay. Maeda? Yeah, like and like characters are just it's gonna be just like Naruto, and it's already started to get to that point where unless you're Shigaraki, unless you're Deku, there might be a character or two that like does little thing like holy shit, but it's not coming down to you. And you could say that for any story, but like, and that's really how it's gonna go in most stories. It's like the main character is gonna end up being the one that has all of it, but like characters are just gonna get left off to the side. And Deku's unlocking his like Sage of Sixth Path Vestiges power, and Shigaraki's getting taken over with all his powers. It's like Bakugo and Todoroki and Ida and the others, they're only going to be able to offer so much support that we're going to get to like a Naruto war arc type level of like, they can be support, they'll have a flashing like critical moment, but it's not the story. They're just like, the power is going to get so far past what they're going to be able to do. We'll see, though. We'll see. Trying to catch up on the chat. D tier is a stacked D tier? Hey, it's not a bad D tier. The problem you're saying right now is, I promise, is not the same thing in the manga. Yeah, we'll see. All I have to do is wait and see. Like, and I feel like kind of like the war arc, that there might be like the Naruto war arc to where Bakugo might have a good like defining moment of like, holy shit, he swayed the battle, he did something there. So I don't know. I just feel like the first two seasons of My Hero were like, holy shit, like these kids, like who's the strongest kid right now? It's this, it's that, it's that, it's this. And now we're starting to evolve to, and you knew it was going to go there with the power that Deku got. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do think I had it a little bit low. And I'm trying to remember the good moments, and some of the good moments were pretty peak. So it definitely deserves to be like in this area for sure. I've enjoyed My Hero over the first couple episodes I've seen of Berserk, so we can put this up here. One Piece I feel like I have too highly ranked because, to be honest, what have we really gotten out of it? Not much. Some like hype moments, but like I've watched 400 episodes. I'll tell you right now, I would rewatch original Dragon Ball's first 400, or I would watch these episodes, and probably My Hero over the first 400 episodes of One Piece that I've watched. But One Piece is gaining so much momentum right now, like where the story is like going. I feel like that it's creeping. I don't know where it's going to end up. It could end up down here. It could end up here. So both stories are incomplete. I'm trying to, honestly, if I'm being dead ass, probably My Hero up until this point for me has been a more enjoyable watch than what One Piece has been for me. But they're both trending in the opposite directions. They're both trending in opposite directions. I don't, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't know what to do with Jujutsu's only first 2 seasons. Because I feel like I enjoy Jujutsu more than original Naruto. Oh, God, that's tough. Yeah, we got to go clean some of this. Some of this B and C, and we're going to have to really clean this up. We're going to have to clean this up. We're going to have to clean this up. It's hard with One Piece because if you're asking me, I'm 400 episodes in, so I'm not even 50% there. Is One Piece bad? No. Is it a lot of fluff and drawn outness and terrible pacing? Yes. Does One Piece have some peak moments? Also yes. Do I feel like it's picking up steam? Also yes. Is it in my top animes at the moment? No. But I have a lot to see. So I feel like for me, what I just described, what I just said, is a middle C experience, is a C anime at the moment. It's been an enjoyable watch, but it hasn't been peak. Okay, it hasn't been peak. So, what does that get you? That gets you right about in the middle. It could go either way. What happens in these next, 100 or so episodes? Yeah, it takes Sakura over Nobara. I mean, how many episodes was of the 40-something episodes was Nobara even on screen or spoke? I haven't watched GT. Yeah, I think that's fine there. The question is, where do I rank the... I feel like either Jujutsu... Have I enjoyed Jujutsu's first 2 seasons over all of My Hero? And the answer to that question is no. So the thing is, what do we do with Jujutsu? Do we bring My Hero up? Or do we bring Jujutsu down? That's tough. That is quite tough on like what to do here. Jujutsu's in a weird spot. I don't know. These 3 are in a weird spot. Because now that I really think about it, My Hero has had some really good highs. Like, amazing highs that we just went over. And essentially, like, Jujutsu Season 1, like, if we were just talking Jujutsu Season 1, I'd probably have it here. Like, okay. Like, it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Now, Season 2 has elevated it for me, but what about Season 2 has elevated it? Just some flashy fights? So what are we saying here? Like, do we do this? But then are we saying 2 seasons of Jujutsu is better than all of what I've seen of My Hero? And I don't think that's correct. So then we go here, but then it's like, dang, we're pushing Jujutsu. The problem is, I think I've preferred all of what My Hero has given me so far over Jujutsu. But the problem is, I don't think Jujutsu deserves to be C, but then I don't think My Hero deserves to be B. So we're kind of stuck in this awkward spot of like, what do we do? What do we do? Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to put this. Because if we're just talking 2 seasons off rip, I wouldn't even have Jujutsu even sniffing anything Tokyo Ghoul related at all. So they shouldn't be close. It's so hard when I've got incomplete stories with complete stories. But this is just what it is. Like, I could do one of these anime tier list every year, and One Piece is still not going to be complete as I've finished other things. So we just kind of have to go off of what we have. C is very like I have an incomplete story. C is like the story is incomplete. I'm trying to think of fights, right? Hold on, I got a message that I need to... What the hell? We really gotta, okay. We gotta sit here and talk about this as a whole. I'm trying to think of the peaks. Yet everything on this list, we could sit here and shit on all day long. You could sit here and shit on it all you want. Okay, maybe not Attack on Titan wouldn't have as much to shit on. If you want to say Death Note after L died, it took a drop, that's fine. If you want to say Vinland Saga doesn't have enough action, that's fine. Hunter x Hunter, we can go on all day. Like, I hate what they did with the Kurapika story. The Ant arc was too long. If Dragon Ball has no consequences, Tokyo Ghoul fell off after the first 2 seasons. Shippuden is too much filler and Talk no Jutsu. You know, we could just go down the list. Like, One Piece, what are we doing with One Piece? My Heroes, I don't know where you want to start with that. Jujutsu, like what are we talking about here? Depth of story or like twists and turns? Is it just flashy fights? It's too early to be seen. Monster slow pace. Like, we can go down the list here. We can just shit on it and everything. So I don't want to sit there and go on like, okay, well, this is this shit and this is this shit. Let's compare shit to shit. I'm trying to compare peaks at the moment. We're talking All Might versus the original Nomu, the original tournament arc. All Might versus One for All versus All for One. We're talking the Stain stuff. We're talking the first stuff with Muscular. We're talking Mirio. We're talking Overhaul. We're talking All Might and Bakugo. We're talking Deku and Bakugo versus All Might. And I'm missing... We're talking all the fights that we just got at the end of this last season. We're talking all the Hawk stuff. We're talking Endeavor versus the Nomu. Like, we're just, like, we're rattling off. We're like, we could just go peak for peak, body for body, hit for hit. Has Jujutsu, what they've done in 20... Is what they've done? And essentially, honestly, what Jujutsu has done this season. Jujutsu season 1 is fine. It's fine. It's okay. So really what you're having to ask yourself is what Jujutsu Kaisen has done in these 20 episodes, is it better than all of that from My Hero? It's not. It's not. It's not. It's really not. What Jujutsu has done this season is great. I would say it'd be up there for anime of the year if we're just talking season for season. I probably would give the vote to Vinland Saga, but if you want to say that, fine. But what they've done in 20 episodes is not better than the peaks of My Hero, in my opinion. You could call My Hero stinky and whatever you want to say, but it's just not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's just not. It's just not. It's not. And I think Jujutsu Season 1 is fine. I think it's a good little introduction season. I wouldn't write home about it. It's not bad. It's a good introduction into the world. It's fine. It's just, I think it's fine. Oh, for sure, Alan, like, if you want to say, like, My Hero's not really, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to talk about the weakness, yeah. At least I think that, if you want to say that they're willing to take people out. But what's weird to me is, like, I hope you guys are caught up on things, because I don't want to, like, start rattling off spoilers, but we're talking about series here. You have no problem, like, taking out Nanami, which is fine. Like, hats off to you, but, like, why won't you just come out and say that Nobara is dead? Like, why are you pussyfooting with it? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I don't know. Why do you introduce this character that seems to have the ability to, like, heal or stop pain or, like, be a little recovery thing? Have him come in and make all these statements and then never appear again. I don't know. Some of it's like not everything's perfect. So it's, I don't know. Does stakes mean better writing? It should, sometimes. But a lot of animes don't kill anybody. Every anime takes somebody out at some point. They all do. They all take somebody out. We can go down the list here. Attack on Titan takes people out. A lot of it could be fodder, but, you know, we're taking out Erwin, Hanji die, like, people die. L dies. We go down the list. We can just sit here and just go down this list of who dies, and Nard, like, Jiraiya dies, Neji dies. Like, people, like, we can just keep going down the list of, like, who dies. You know, they did kill Night Eye and My Hero, if you want to say that that's even stakes of a character that gets killed within, like, what, a handful of episodes. But Nanami wasn't on screen that much either. So just because they killed people doesn't mean the story's like, I don't know. It's a lot of, like, it's tough. Majestic. Okay, we're kind of on crack there a little bit, but I get it. Yeah, and I will say Jujutsu Kaisen is not the smoothest power system to get off rip. And I'm not saying something needs to be easy, because when I watch Hunter x Hunter for the first time, I'm trying to sit there and understand Nen as they're introducing everything. It's see, this is like, and I don't think these stories are bad. But when you start getting into ranking things, you have to start nitpicking. Tokyo Ghoul, this is just all anime. None of this is supported by manga. So some of these manga might be good. Some people might say that One Piece has the best manga and it should be up here, but we're just going off of animes only. And honestly, we're doing some switching here, boys. We're switching some things. I know we shit on My Hero, or I have. My Hero, for me, has been good. Has been a lot of good. I don't like the direction that it's going, but it can sit right there at the top of C. Above One Piece and above Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think that's good right there. Honestly, golly, and it sucks because now that I have it next to the other things, that's so bad. Like, if I looked at that, I'd be like, that's bad. But you have to sit here and really think about it. Like, I'm asking you guys right now. OG, especially if you're not a manga reader for Jujutsu Kaisen and you're like me, OG Dragon Ball, OG Naruto, both of those series are better than the 2 seasons that Jujutsu Kaisen has put out, correct? Correct? Like, I feel like that's just a blanket statement. Like, that just has to be correct. That there's no way that, like, 40-something episodes is better than what Shippuden pumped out in Dragon Ball. If we start going hit for... I'm talking high point for high point. Because that's what you have to compare. You gotta compare hit for hit. If you're telling me that what Jujutsu has put out in these, like, 15, 20 episodes is better than Haku and Zabuza, better than the Naruto tuning exams, better than Naruto versus Sasuke, and we just keep going, you're drunk. You're on crack if you're telling me what Jujutsu Kaisen has put out in 2 seasons is better than all of that, because it's just untrue. It's just untrue. It's just untrue. Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z 100% is better than anything Jujutsu Kaisen has put out as a whole. I have no idea, Zareth. I have no idea what happens if you give Jujutsu that quality. That's why we've got to wait to see. I've been preaching it that I am very scared to see what happens with Jujutsu Kaisen because, like I said, and I agree, if you want to say that this is up for anime of the year, I won't fight you. I prefer Vinland Saga. But if someone said, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is my anime of the year, cool. I'm very concerned if they can keep this up. I've heard conflicting reports that, yeah, the Shibuya is peak for Jujutsu, and that it's not bad, but yes, the rest of the story does trend down. Okay? I've heard other people say, oh, the best arcs are yet to come, or the best arc is yet to come. It's even better than Shibuya. I say, okay. So until I see it, but to say that it's better than all the original Naruto in these 2 seasons, quality or not, it's just not true. I think we had to take off the Jujutsu colored glasses for a minute. It's because I'm watching it right now. It's gotta calm down a little bit. I think, oh gosh, I don't. And that brings me to Demon Slayer. What the hell do we do with Demon Slayer? What do we do with Demon Slayer? Oh, for sure. Sukuna carries a lot of Jujutsu when he's on screen. X8, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think when the problem is Jujutsu is like, it's out right now. It's the hottest thing in the streets. There's no other anime. Well, I mean, of course, there's animes out there that I'm not watching. So there might be ongoing popular animes right now. But I guess as far as like mainstream, Jujutsu is like what's out right now. There's nothing else. There's nothing else out that's competing with it. Attack on Titan finished up. Mob Psycho was done. Vinland Saga finished earlier this year. Demon Slayer or My Hero, blah, 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 whatever. So it's out. It's hot in the streets. Every episode is trending. It's just going banger after banger. I want to see the discussion for this after this is calmed down. I want to have discussions about Jujutsu in mid-January, mid-February, when everybody's had a moment to sit on it, see how the season ends, really take a step back and sit on it. When you get out of the fights that are happening and the deaths and all that, on how it's really received. It's hard to like really know when you're in it. It's like, oh, these are bangers after bangers. Okay, so like when you're removed from it and it's not pumping out and you get to some time to have it marinate a little bit, how are you comparing it to other shows? Because it has been fights. It has been fights. And that's not bad. We said the same thing for Dragon Ball. Like, Dragon Ball's doing the same shit. But to have it mentioned with some of the others is... I haven't seen enough. It's incomplete. And I told you guys this when we were going to do this ranking. Some of your favorite shows might get put at the bottom because I can't compare your favorite show that's ongoing with series that are completely done. Especially if you're a manga reader. There's some people that they're like, oh, Jujutsu Kaisen, it's better than, or it's just as good as Attack on Titan. I can't put that shit up there off of 40-something episodes. It's like, what can we do? Does Yuji have development? I don't know. Yuji doesn't even feel like the own main character of his own story. If we're really being 100% with it. I don't know. I feel like he's just there. I feel like Yuji's just there to house Sukuna. Yuji never defeats anybody. Nobody of weight. Number one. And I feel like I heard that that's like a big ongoing thing. Like Yuji actually never defeats anybody. Like he never actually puts anybody down. Somebody else always steps in or has to take over or has to do it or has to finish it. You're not incorrect. I don't know. Like Yuji to me, there's no... And see, that's the thing again. Like people are saying, oh, Yuji over Deku. You might be right. But I haven't gotten enough Yuji to make that statement of like, what? 100%. I agree. As expected. Yuji is just teenage gone. 100%. Just teenage gone. I just punch and kick shit. I am interested to see Yuta. Yuta gets talked about all this buzz, but the man's just hanging out in Africa and shit, or wherever the hell he is. Yes, Deku is, yes. Up to this point, yes. And that's another thing, like, I don't know where their characters go in the manga, so you guys might have differing opinions than me. But of what have we had? 6 My Hero or 5 My Hero seasons in 2 Jujutsu seasons? Call it what you want, call each character what you want. Yes, at this point of the content that I've gotten, yes, I would take Deku as a character over Yuji, and I feel like that's not even up for debate if we're just talking about what you've seen in anime. But that's also, you could say that's unfair because we've only gotten like 40 something episodes or whatever of that, but that just is what it is. I don't have complete stories on either side. Talk to me again in 2 years when maybe I've gotten another 2 seasons of this and another 2 seasons of this to see the directions where some of this goes, and then who knows. Sukuna over all of those? Whoa. And see, that's another thing, is like, that could be true. Maybe Sukuna is better than Madara, better than Pain, better than Obito, etc. I haven't gotten enough. But putting him in Madara talks is big. That's pretty big. Class 1A. Probably Class 1A, I guess. No, that's overhyped. His, like, I am you speech, it was cool, it was fine, but he didn't even do anything. He didn't kill him. You say I'm you, but then what? And he's not going to kill him. He's not. I think that was a little overhyped. Like, I get it. You know, Mahito brought that up, and like he's like, yeah, but I thought it was fine. I feel like the Jujutsu, we just gotta dial it down on the Jujutsu a little bit. I need to see more before I can put it up there with some of the greats. I agree with that, X8. I agree that My Hero over the last season or 2 has been getting a lot of hate. I do agree with that. I've even hated on it myself. I'm a part of that train. But when you step back and look at it, there has been the peaks of My Hero are pretty peak. Call the fandom what you want, call the story what you want, call the last seasons what you want, call where the direction of the story is what you want. But some of the moments that it has had are some very, very high moments. So we just have to kind of see how it goes. So that's been the whole My Hero Jujutsu discussion. I like this kind of better where it is. We need to have a discussion. Yeah, this is the next discussion, guys. Demon Slayer. What are we doing with this? What are we doing with this? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Zareth, if you're reading page for page right now, manga to manga, I can't argue with you if someone says Jujutsu is better than My Hero. It might be. I can't comment on that. But what I have, like 5 to 6 seasons worth of peaks, opposed to what this is, it's just My Hero's better. Now, will that change? Give me another 2 seasons of Jujutsu and let's see. We got to talk about Demon Slayer, guys. What's happening with this? Demon Slayer is fine where it is. Demon Slayer rating is perfect. Is it? What happened, man? What happened to Demon Slayer? What happened? Because I'm here watching it with you guys. What the hell happened? Oh man, what happened? I'm trying to remember what happened. So last season was definitely the weakest season in my opinion. And what's wild is, because I've said this even when it came out, that first episode of the last Demon Slayer season is one of the best first episodes of any anime I've watched. It's probably in top 10 episodes. The art, the animation, the music, the introduction to the rest of the Upper Moons, Muzan, all of it is just like it's there. And for it to have the best episode, but then also the weakest season is crazy to me. Crazy to me. You've got the biggest pet peeve of mine ever is death fake out. So you've got the Nezuko death fake out. You've got unforgettable Upper Moons. Like, what was the even point of the fish one? Like, that's just... Tanjiro breaks his leg but is still running at supersonic speeds on both legs while opening Zenitsu's abilities, breathing at the same time. It's just so much. It's so much. Yeah, I don't know. Just the whole season, man. But what is it though? Like, why did it feel like it fell off? But that's what I'm saying. So we say all that about Demon Slayer. So like, right, we just poo-pooed on it. So the same thing we did with My Hero. We need to talk about the Demon Slayer peaks. Now, peak number 1, which I don't think can be disputed. Top to bottom, front to back, season to season. There is not a better anime pumping out art and animation than Demon Slayer. Say, oh, it's carried by art and animation. Say that's all it has going for it. Say whatever you want, but that is a true statement. There is not a better show that I've watched. You guys might have watched 10 times of animes that I have on this list. But everything that I've seen, front to back, top to bottom, season over season, there is not a better art and animation being put out than what Demon Slayer puts out. That's just number 1, okay? That's number 1. So that's number 1. That's already a peak in itself. So let's start thinking about some of the peaks that we have. All the Hashira fights have been pretty great. Pretty great. The train movie arc had its ups and downs. The Uzui fight in the entertainment district. And see, that's what I'm saying happens. You see how we're having this discussion right now? Flash back to that point in time, okay? Flash back to that point in time when the entertainment district was pumping out episodes week after week, okay? It was being talked about exactly like Jujutsu Kaisen is being talked about right now. And I won't hear any arguments of it. Because I'm on the socials just like you guys are on the socials. It was being talked about in the same way, like, this is the best animated episodes any anime's ever put out. Like, look at the art and animation. Give your round of applause for the animators, the studios, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is peak anime, yada, yada. When the fucking Tengen, the Uzui fights and all that was coming out, everything that's being said about Jujutsu right now was being said about Demon Slayer. And now look where we're at another season after. Like, it's crazy how that shit can change. Shit was getting blown out of proportion. Blown out of proportion. And it was good. It was good. I couldn't go on anything without seeing the praise for Demon Slayer at that point in time. And we've seen kind of like where we're at with Demon Slayer right now. So I say we need to take a deep breath on this Jujutsu Kaisen hype, because yes, it is great, but that shit could change in the blink of an eye. Just the last season was just bad. I just feel like it was just the last season was just a letdown of a season. And that's what's fresh in people's minds is that season. So that's kind of where we're at. But here's the thing is, like, are we praising Jujutsu Kaisen's story? What are we praising about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 story? What about the story is, like, killing it? What, like, Jujutsu, I feel like there's no, what are we groundbreaking here with this Season 2 story? Yeah, agreed. That happened with One Punch Man Season 2. I feel like where did it go? Shit just, like, disappears. Like, we gotta get some like cliffhanger-ish moments, but like I'm talking like deep story character developments. I feel like neither side is doing that. Neither side, like, okay, Yuji has his moment like, oh yeah, I am you. I'm gonna kill and keep killing. Okay. I feel like we've had speeches and moments like that just as good in Demon Slayer. You're telling me when Tanjiro's not yelling at what's fucking, oh god, what's his name? What's the Upper Moon demon's name that starts with an A? I forget his name. That kills Rengoku when he's not screaming at him, telling him he's a coward to come out and fight, and like, we're humans and we can't regenerate like you and we'll keep fighting. I'll take that speech a moment just as good as Yuji sitting there telling him like I'm you, and you're like, what? What are we talking about? Akaza, yes, Akaza. You tell me that moment when Rengoku's over there bleeding out, that speech isn't as emotional or isn't as hits as hard as Yuji's, because it does. Because it absolutely does. Absolutely does. I think, yeah, I'm gonna love to see the Jujutsu discourse when like we get to calm down off this season for a little bit. We gotta calm down off of it a little bit. I agree, X8. The I am you moment is it's a little overhyped. Was it badass and cool to see? Yes. What would have climaxed it for me is if he said, you know what, I am you, or you or me, whatever you want to say, whatever he said, and then he actually killed him. Then we're having a whole different discussion, okay? Because saying and doing are two different things. He said that, but nothing happened. And I'm telling you right now, he's not going to kill him either. So what are we talking about? But there's some, yeah, God. We do shit on Demon Slayer too hard a little bit. The last season was the worst of the season, so I think that's what's fresh in people's minds. So yes, if you want to say it's bad because off of what's that, I think we got to move it up a little bit ahead of Monster. And what's wild is like I know how well regarded Monster is, but it just didn't like hit for me, you know? Honestly, as expected of Peak, you're not wrong. Toto coming in and hitting that speech saying we are the exception, I'll take that over I am you, not gonna lie to you. No, there's some, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, the same way we did with My Hero, we might have been giving Demon Slayer too rough of a time. Just a little too rough of a time. I don't know if I like where they're going with the Shigaraki storyline, because it seems to be that Shigaraki is being hinted at being redeemed or being saved or being talk no jutsu'd or somehow being able to take over and like do better or be good. So I kind of need to see where that goes. And the Mahito seems like that might be coming to an end here as well. But yeah. Yeah, we'll get that Jujutsu tier list going too. Yeah, and the thing is, I can't talk about future. So you guys might know that Jujutsu manga from where I'm at goes this way and Demon Slayer goes this way, or maybe they're even, or maybe they go vice versa. I can only speak up of what I got. Oh, do we have Demon Slayer too low? Do we have it too low? I think I need to move this here. It's right there. Because I think before last season, I would have had Demon Slayer like right here. I'd have had it like right in here, somewhere right in here, but the last season was such a sour taste, and they did like the biggest no-no that I hate. So what's going to be really interesting is when these get new, we get to do this every year. Knock on wood if my old ass makes it that long to be here next year. When I've got another 100-something episodes of One Piece, and Jujutsu has finally wrapped up, and we probably get another season of My Hero and Demon, where these end up moving. Because we're getting a lot of content. Because My Hero is kind of getting close, no? Like, to the end? Has the My Hero manga ended, or no? Or they're coming into its final stages, or what? Yeah, and that's another thing, too. It's like, when you ask yourself these questions, is every moment a fight? Like, when you're talking peak moments, are there moments that... do they have any moments that don't include fights? Because I feel like that could sway things. Because if you're just a fight whore, a choreographed machine and that's what you go off of, then yes, some of these are going to be different. But for anime only, I'm trying to think, does Jujutsu have a non-fight moment where you're like, holy shit, like that was emotional, or that was it? I mean, yeah, the Nanami death, but that resulted in from a fight. Nobara's death resulted from a fight. Yuji's "We Are the Same" or whatever resulted in the end of a fight. I'm trying to think. Change all the D tiers. Ghetto shower scene, okay. You're not wrong. That is there. The ghetto speech with the other special grade curse girl, that's up there. I agree with that. Okay, okay. You're not wrong, you're not wrong. Yeah, and I think that's another thing too, is like, and My Hero had that going this last season there. Every episode with Jujutsu this season has just been like you don't get a chance to breathe. And that's what we had going with this season of My Hero recently. Like those first 12 or so episodes was like just going. So like it stays peak, it stays trending, it stays hot. So my question is, so that's what I've been saying. I'm worried. I don't know if I'm worried in a good way or worried in a bad way. When they do take a breath and we get half of a season that's not just, and we get 5 to 8 episodes that's more just dialogue, world setting up, building, how are those episodes going to hit? I don't know. Because if I feel like if it's more season 1, then for me Jujutsu comes down a little bit. But the thing is, they haven't done that this season. It's been hit after hit after hit. Stakes after stakes after stakes. So that's why I said, like, people are considering this season to be anime of the year. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we agree. I agreed on that. We badmouth My Hero a little too much. I think at the peak of C, My Hero could easily move to B if these next upcoming seasons and the climax of the story kind of get to where it needs to be. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. There's a lot to say. We don't have any issues. Is anybody in here actively watching Boruto as it goes? Like, what's word on the street with that, guys? Is it hitting? What's happening out here? Like, there's no reason to ever go back into it, right? I see random shots all the time, or I'll see videos on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, whatever, of like Sasuke has like a pet dinosaur or some shit, or he's fighting he's like locked up in Jurassic Park and has to escape with a bunch of dinosaurs or some random shit. I don't know. I think I saw a couple fights pop up on my shit where like they face somebody that has the ability to shrink themselves, like Ant-Man, and pop back out, or shrink objects or some shit. Naruto doesn't have the Nine Tails anymore. I don't know. There's just a lot of shit going on. I had to back out after I think episode 100 or so. Yeah, yeah, Boruto just stays there. Invincible was fine. It was just fine. If you don't want to say it's F and you want to put it over here, that's cool too. It was fine. And if I had to, if I really had to, I can maybe put this here. If you want to do that. If that makes the online people better. What are we changing in D tier though? Cypher, I feel like this is pretty much where we got it. Oh shit, what's going on here? I feel like this is pretty much about it. Actually, I think I actually prefer that over Parasite. I don't know why, now that I'm thinking here, looking at the list, like Parasite just wasn't that high up for me. Maybe this? No, Avatar. Like I won't even watch the new shit that they're coming out with, the live action. Actually, I might watch that on my downtime, but man, the disappointment that was. And here's the thing though, like some of these is like I don't not like. It's just where they end up in the ranking with everything else. Some of these are just where the things happen to end up. I don't know. We could sit here and go on this Avatar fucking rant. I feel like Aang never got serious about his shit, number one. Number two, did he ever end up mastering all the abilities? Because he did not, correct? What? To be honest, I'd rather watch a story of the sister. What the hell was the sister's name? I'd rather watch a revenge story of her. What, he mastered a bit like the very, very end? Like, oh shit, we gotta fight. Okay, get this under his belt. Because I feel like we were very close to the end, and we just like did not end up mastering everything. Or like he got to it like at the very like, okay, the fight's here, I've got it. What? Like I'm talking like at the last moment. Like the teacher's handing out the test, like she's walking down the aisles of the classroom handing out people Scantrons and shit, and as his is getting handed on his desk, he just gets it. Like just gets it. And it's like he tries to go against it, and like, golly, just thinking about it is bringing back my hate for Avatar. Yeah, I agree with that. Aang wasn't really, X8, I pretty much agree with that statement. Avatar was a little low stakes, and Aang not really being challenged with his morals in the end, and being gifted a convenient plot device. Yeah, I won't argue really much any of that, honestly. And I get it that it came out on Nickelodeon stuff, but it was so well talked about that I just thought it would like hit a little bit better. But it's very, very, I feel like that's a very nostalgic thing. Like if you were in it when it was probably releasing, you would probably like loved it. But I know people that have watched it. Like there's adults that are watching it now. They're getting into it for the first time for their reaction channels, and they love it. Absolutely love it. It just, I don't know, it didn't hit. Did not hit for me, was not an enjoyable watch. I feel like Aang never got serious about it. Was no consequences to like him taking it serious, not taking it serious. And he starts to buckle down at like the very last, I don't know. Just didn't hit. People tell me to watch Korra, but then other people are like, oh, you'll like Korra more, and other people are like, oh, you'll like Korra less. Zuko, Azula, and Uncle Iroh, I agree. Pretty good characters. They're pretty great characters. I'm not a Katara fan. Just not an Aang fan. Toph. Toph is probably my favorite. I'd probably go Toph, Azula, Iroh, Zuko in that order. Fandom likes Korra less. How many episodes is it? Yeah, Toph is... Yes, Toph is... She might be the best thing about the entire show, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would say the visuals for the last fight and the visuals for the last fight between Zuko and Azula are pretty great. And I feel like there were so many times that like they could have scooped up Aang's ass. Didn't Azula have him cornered and dusted up like 4 or 5 times? Didn't she have his ass done and dusted like 3 or 4 times? We better figure that out right now. This probably gets the whole thing copyrighted though, by the way. You know Nickelodeon ain't playing that shit. They start getting
This looks like a good spot.
Pretty sure I probably can't even show this. Hold on. Let me add a scene here real quick. Give me anything, like literally anything we could put up. Let's see if I can find a decent screen to put up there. Because I actually would like to watch that. That's good. That's good. Cool, 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 cool. Take this. Slap it right there, dead middle of the screen. Boom. Let me get my add in another filter here. Cool. Yeah, something like that. All right, let's take a peek at this. Let me get a good look at this one time. I feel like this is one of the best fights in the whole thing, no? Here we go. Here we go. I feel like she's on his ass this whole time, no? On their ass the whole time. I mean, Azula's the best thing going in the show. Do we disagree with that or what? I know a lot of people like Zuko's character development and stuff, but you could tell how I feel like you could tell how Zuko's character was going to go from the very beginning. You knew how that character was going to be written. You could tell by the tone of the story and like how he was introduced and his backstory. Like you knew how his story was going to go and how he was going to develop and end up like finding out that like that's not him, I'm good, etc. You could see that from a mile away. You could get that off of like episode 1 or 2. Like that's nothing new, you know. Hotman. I just feel like you could see Zuko's character arc coming from the very beginning. So that's why like I don't have him as the highest preferred. Is that how that ends up ending? That really ends like that? Damn. I remember that being more peak. Maybe I'm tripping. Alright, we should be able to pull that back up now then. But, yeah. Avatar rant. Yeah, knowing it happened doesn't make it bad, but like you knew he was gonna end up good. You knew that wasn't him, and it's like yeah, it wasn't bad that you know that that's coming, but like it's predictable, so it didn't hit as I guess deep as it could have. I honestly thought Azula breaking down there at the end when she's like getting like captured or chained up or whatever you want to call it, her like emotionally breaking down I thought was better than Zuko, you know, realizing he's not that and is a different person. If you had to... Well, I think I already know what the answer is going to be. I was going to say, if you guys had to look at this list, what's the biggest complaint on this list? What is... Two questions. What's too high and what's too low? I already know what the too low is going to be. Everyone's going to say Avatar or Full Metal is too low. And people will probably say Dragon Ball Super is too high. I feel like will be everybody's answer to that question. Yep, DBZ Super too high. Demon Slayer should be bottom C. I don't disagree with you about the Demon Slayer. Invincible's a little low. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Super's too high. Full Metal or Avatar's too low. Monster too low. Super too high. Let's really... Okay, so let's look at Super. Let's think about it for a second. What do we really get there? We got the introduction to, you know, all the beer stuff. All the angels. All that. You had the hit. Goku going blue with Kaioken on top of it. You had the battle between the two universes. You had the Zamasu stuff with future Trunks coming back. You had the Tournament of Power. You had probably one of the best power-ups in all of anime with Ultra Instinct. But there's a lot. I agree that there's a lot in there that's skippable, deletable, don't even have to watch. But again, we can shit on every show on here, but I'm trying to think of peaks. And the question is, like, where would you put it? Like, are we putting it here? Are we putting it, like, here? Yeah, you've got Goku Black. You've got Jiren. Ooh, man, there's a lot of peaks in that. Family Guy would be it'd be a pretty high in there. We should do a regular TV show. Yeah, I did see that. I think I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw it. But they probably should they're gonna let Goku win one of these days. I hear word on the street is when they do those super battles, they keep pulling like random shit out to let Superman get the dub, huh? Word on the street. Oh, I agree with that. I mean, anything you say about Full Metal, I'm probably gonna agree with. I don't know, Madden. That's what I hear. Word on the street. Jujutsu Kaisen, like, this might be peak. I don't know. We'll see if it gets better. Or if it at least maintains. I agree. Super is kind of underrated. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, so when we're ranking these, we need to, like, trim out all filler and all unwatchable. And we're talking peaks for peaks. Like, when you see, like, music artists online, they're like, let's do a versus battle. You know, you're coming with your best of your best. You're not coming with your B-list tracks that never make the radio or those throwaway music songs that like nobody ever hears. Everything on this list has issues and has problems. We've already skimmed over most of it. So what we're trying to rank here is you take peaks for peaks, okay? Now some of these shows I haven't finished. I don't think I've even gotten to even any of probably the top 5 best peaks in One Piece. Probably haven't gotten to the top peaks in Jujutsu Kaisen. Demon Slayer probably has some peaks that I haven't gotten to yet. Chainsaw, One Punch, My Hero. There's a lot of unfinished things, so like they might have peaks, but I haven't gotten to them yet. So all I can go off of is what I have. Dragon Ball Super peaks are kind of fluff and crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Because you get the original Battle of F stuff, where you get like the gold Frieza. You get both of them going blue. You get the hit stuff in the other universes. You get all the Gods of Destruction and the Angels. You get the Super Saiyan Blue with the Kaioken power-up. You get the Goku Black with the Zamasu. You get the Tournament of Power. You get Goku going Ultra Instinct. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. A lot. I don't even know if Saitama will ever get on screen enough for me to get a true, like, what he is. What is even the word on One Punch Man? Is that shit ever coming back? I haven't seen the newest movie, X8. I haven't. But I'm trying to even think, like, even the peaks of Avatar for me, like, I don't put the peaks of Avatar, like, better than a lot of these shows. Like, just for me, like, some of the Toph stuff is peak for me. And of course, the fight at the very end is peak. Seeing Azula and some of the Uncle Iroh stuff, like, some of those are peaks, but, like, I feel like when we talk about some of these other peaks, I'm like, oh, man, and other people are like, oh, yeah, that's true, you forgot about this one. Does anybody ever talk about peaks of Avatar? Like, besides watching, like, the climax fight of the entire series? Like, the climax fight, you know? Like, one or two. Like, we just watched that fight. I remember that being so much more badass in my head. That lasted for 30 seconds. It wasn't much of anything. I feel like every show above it has more hits than what Avatar pumped out. I don't know, the Tournament of Power has a bunch of issues. They could have trimmed out like 80% of those episodes, to be honest. Bro, and I hear like Frieza's got like a Frieza Black transformation in the manga. Where who fluffing knows? I'm ready for that shit to come out. Yeah, I haven't heard anything on One Punch Man. I feel like Monster spent too much time trying to cover too many characters that had connections to Johan, and didn't put Johan on screen enough, in my opinion. And then they tried to at the end, but I feel like it was almost too late. And we would go, so Monster was 70 something episodes. Like, no bullshit, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I'm being serious here. Was Tenma even around for 40 of those episodes? 50 of those episodes? No bullshit. No troll. I just feel like Avatar doesn't... I don't know. Like, besides the climax fight of the entire story, like that episode, are there ever really like hit for hit moments that you think of when you think of Avatar? Because I just don't have any. I don't know. Man, some of this... So, looking at this list that you guys have seen, I probably know a lot of your... Well, the answers might change. Yeah, and so that's another thing, too. It's like, the more Johan was on screen, he kind of lose some of the mystique, but you wanted him on screen. I don't know. It was... I might need to do a Fullmetal rewatch on my own time and see. Of what's on this list, right? If you guys could go back and cleanse your memory clean, all memories, all expectations, all everything of one of these shows, and rewatch it from start to finish again, what show would it be? I'm not talking about manga. I'm talking about like the story included, just where these animes are. Some of them are finished, some of them are not. If you could cleanse your mind and rewatch and sit down and watch it from again, start to finish, which one of these would you choose? Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan. No, you're good, Zareth. Attack on Titan or Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter. DBZ, Attack on Titan or Hunter x Hunter, Berserk. Yeah, getting a lot of Attack on Titan. Yeah, that probably would be there for me too. I just don't think. Yeah, probably not wrong. Well, yeah, One Piece. And so the thing is, like, let me get another couple hundred episodes into One Piece. Shit, maybe one day I end up having One Piece right here. Who knows? Or maybe it kind of stays in this area. It's TBD. So yeah, if you guys could just erase your minds, you'd go back and rewatch Attack on Titan again from start to finish, huh? I probably would too. Of everything on this list, if I could get a fresh rewatch, yeah. That probably would have to be it. So of these, oh for sure, William, the tournament, like as some of the good peaks that Dragon Ball Super had, you could do without half of those universes, half of the fights. When Vegeta and Goku aren't even powered up for 80% of the tournament, it's like, okay, this shit is not a threat, you know? Yeah, yeah. Because I feel like you get the best of both worlds of Attack on Titan. You get the action, you get the story, you get the twists and turns. If I could go back and watch that again, that would be it. So of these stories, of the ones that have finished, hold on, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Of the stories here that have finished, Attack on Titan, we're gonna say Hunter x Hunter's finished because I don't. What they're doing in the manga right now, I don't know if that's ever gonna be like a condensed story that ever finishes. So let's say Attack on Titan, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, Super, Naruto, Monster, Geass, Fullmetal, Parasite, Avatar. Of those shows we listed. So of the finished shows here, what to you had the most satisfying ending? What was the most satisfying ending to you? And then what was the worst ending to you? Or which one dropped the ball? Of the completed stories here, so you got to get rid of Vinland Saga, Jujutsu, Demon Slayer, My Hero, One Punch. Which one had the most satisfying ending, and which one was the worst? Which one dropped the ball? I just think you get used to it, Insatiable, because when I first watched it too, because when Dragon Ball Super started, that was the first time I ever watched Dragon Ball in the subtitles. I always watched it in dub. I always watched Dragon Ball Z growing up in the English voices. So when Dragon Ball Super came out, it took me like a month to get over hearing Goku's female voice actress. But after a while though, kind of liked it. Some of the other characters I like in the sub. Fullmetal or Code Geass has the most satisfying. Death Note ending was average. Code Geass had the best ending though. Ending in my opinion. Naruto right behind it. I agree with you, Demolin. The Death Note ending wasn't. I didn't. Ah, God, it's tough because it depends. The Death Note ending to you is going to be satisfying depending on what side of the fence you're on. If you wanted Light to just keep ruling and keep succeeding and keep doing all that, then I could see how it'd be disappointing to you. If you felt like Light was a piece of shit and he needs to be taken out and he can't keep getting away with this, it was probably really satisfying to you. But I feel like there might have been. Again, I think, agree. I have Death Note high, but again, I feel like everything post L was not as good as pre L's death. But the way they kind of handled it and the freak out of it all, and you know him kind of coming to grips with it and like walking away and thinking about everything that it's a good ass story. But I wish there would have been a way that like Light could have fully eliminated anybody that could have challenged him, which he almost did if he got rid of the other ones. But then somehow Ryuk still ends up putting his name. But I don't know what the plot story could have been to where Ryuk still ends up writing down his name. I do think it's poetic and good that Ryuk is the one that ends up writing Light's name in his book. I just hate how we got there. I hate how we got there, but I don't hate how the last couple episodes were executed. So it's a weird feeling of like, I hate how you get this like L 2.0 or whatever you want to label him as. Yeah. Oh yeah, for William, there's a lot in the Super arc that they just didn't need to be there at all. It was dragged out a lot. You could trim out like 80% of the Tournament of Power arc. Yeah, we're doing Vagabond right now, trying to get that going. I think we'll be up to like chapter 12 or so. Maybe, hopefully. So let's see, what do you guys think? So we asked that question, like, of the stories here that are finished in the anime wise, what was your most satisfying ending and what was your most disappointing ending? Most satisfying ending for me of the stories that are finished: Attack on Titan, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Monster Geass. If Aaron somehow got 100%, it would have been the most satisfying. Had he gotten to everybody, it would have been the most satisfying. God, that's close. It's hard. It's kind of hard to think what's my favorite. Which one dropped the ball? It might be Naruto, honestly. Just pivoting off of Madara is such a fumble, in my opinion. Such a fumble. How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? I don't know. I don't know how you fuck that up. True, Junko, you could have done that. Yeah, we're going to try to pick up more One Piece here once we get Mob Psycho and Jujutsu Kaisen done. So Jujutsu Kaisen will be done in 2 weeks. Mob Psycho will be done by mid-January-ish. And then I gotta see if like Patreon, so I'll have to ask Patreon, would they rather me get another One Piece episode out a week on Patreon, so we do 3 episodes a week? Or would there rather be the start of a new series? I don't even know what new, we'd have to take another vote to see. A lot of people have been mentioning Overlord to me. JoJo's, that's what people have been saying. JoJo's might be next, but the problem is, it's like, I think the reason why people weren't, and I was saying it too, the reason why we didn't say, okay, you know, let's, because people want to see Bleach, people want to see JoJo's. I was like, do we want to have 2 ongoing stories on the channel that are 500, 600, 700, 1,000 something episodes long? Like One Piece already is taking up like half of the week for Patreon and YouTube. Do we want to introduce another story that's going to take years to finish? Or do we want to do these like Jujutsu, Mob Psycho type things where like we can finish in like 6 months, finish in like 10 months? Kind of depends on what people want to see. I don't know. With Code Geass, I didn't hate the premise of it, what it had going. I wasn't a fan of like the Gundam battles and stuff going on. I've been telling people I need to go back and rewatch Code Geass. Maybe go back and watching it, giving it a second chance, letting it swirl around a little bit. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. Oh yeah, Fire Punch as well. People want to see Fire Punch or read Fire Punch. JoJo's only 100 episodes, that's it? Oh shit, it's not bad. How long is Bleach? No mangas on the... I think the next manga will be Fire Punch, because that was the 2nd place. So Fire Punch definitely will be next. So maybe that's what... I don't know, it'll be interesting to see of like... Maybe we do a... I'm just trying to think, would that be too much? Like, would people rather have 2 mangas ongoing on the channel at the same time? Or would they rather include another anime into that? Like, would you guys want Vagabond and Fire Punch going at the same time? Or would you rather Fire Punch be replaced with like a JoJo's or a Bleach or whatever anime might get voted? I mean, honestly, it's what you guys... I mean, the channel's here for y'all's entertainment and such, so... 500. Oof. I already forgot what the other question was going to be. Because we said what was peak and what was your disappointing ending. I had another question I was going to ask you guys. I forgot. Bleach is 418. Sheesh. Had another question and I forgot. I don't remember.
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons.
Better than Naruto. Isn't... So what's the word with Bleach? Like, did Bleach just pick... Like, Bleach was just, like, in a hiatus state and just picked back up and is now going back on again anime-wise? Is that what's going on? Or is this complete new Bleach stuff that's coming out right now? Like, did the manga just stop being adapted, went on hiatus, and they just picked it back up again in their full steam? Or is this completely new material that they're doing right now? It ended in 2016 and never got the final arc? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. What is it, 149? Bleach manga's done. That's tough. And why did they just, like, what took them almost a decade to get back on it? Like, they're just, oh, let's do it? Did it get funding? Did the studio decide to pick it up? Like, what are we talking about here? Excluding filler? That's not bad. Because what are we getting this year for sure? We're getting Demon Slayer. We're getting My Hero. Possibly Chainsaw. Is there any new anime in the woodworks that like might be getting a manga that might be getting an adaptation that's going to be like hot in the streets? You know, like Chainsaw Man just like came busting out the flames. Is there any whispers of anything this year that's like going to be hot off the press? I'm trying to think what all will even be added in this year, because I don't know of anything that's like around the corner. Then Dawn, never heard of it. Never heard of the Kaiju No 8 either, but depending how many episodes are, if that's what ends up getting voted and people want to see in the streets. Because so when mid-January gets here, what are we going to have going? One Piece and Vagabond, and that's it, correct? Yeah. One Piece and Vagabond will be it. There'll be no more Mob Psycho, there'll be no more Jujutsu. They're saying there's My Hero, but I don't know if that's going to be in the spring, summer. They're saying Demon Slayer, again, don't know if that's going to be in the spring, summer. So the winter, like up until like February, March, April, essentially from January to like maybe April, May, is going to be kind of wide open. My Hero's May, okay. So we're probably going to have up till May to figure out what we want to... Demon Slayer's April and My Hero is May? Golly, of course we're going to put those back to back. So what we need to do in that time is try to crank out new series in that time. So we'll have One Piece, Vagabond chapters, and Berserk anime going. So we need to add 1 or 2 more things that might be like 20 something or less episodes that we can get done before, because I don't want to have another show wedged in with Demon Slayer and then like 2 weeks behind that My Hero starts, because it'll be One Piece, it'll be My Hero, it'll be Demon Slayer, and I think those 3 will be enough for my plate to handle, with One Piece, Demon Slayer, My Hero, and the Vagabond chapters on top of it. So if somehow from January up until April, so like 3.5 months, 12-ish weeks if I did something twice a week, I need to find like a 20 to 30 episodes something, or something less that we can get done. How many episodes are they talking for Demon Slayer and My Hero? Do we have the answers on that? It doesn't have to be older. It could be something that just came out like this past year, this year. Because you guys are talking about solo leveling and all this other stuff that's coming out. Kaiju no 8 and whatever. Dadan, whatever that is. Is that already out? How many episodes are we talking? When is that coming out? It doesn't have to be one season. It could be something we could get to. I just want it to be something that like we can get in and get out. I don't want it to be like a monster that's like 70 something episodes. Definitely not like a Bleach or a One Piece that's going to be hundreds of episodes. Something we can get our feet wet with, react to, go into Demon Slayer, go into My Hero, finish Demon Slayer, My Hero, and then if there's a season 2, or season 2 is going to be announced later this year, we get back into it again. So I don't know what came out this year that was hot in the streets, or that's coming out earlier this year that might be coming out in early 2025 or something like that. Something we could jump into, check it out, jump right back out. And if we can't come up with anything, maybe we have to start JoJo's. Maybe. We might have to do that. Artist of Gravity, anything's in the discussion. We'll have to probably do what we do is I'll put a post up, you guys give me some suggestions, I'll take the top liked suggestions, put them in a poll, and let y'all go crazy with it and get a couple hundred votes on it and see how it comes out. Oh, Demon Slayer manga's finished. I've heard of Logan before. People do talk about that. I have no idea what that is or what it's about. So when we get to... I want to like research what that is. So when we get to... What am I on, episode 6? So what do we got here left? 6 episodes. So that gets us to where... Let me pull up a calendar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that'll get us to like mid-January. So something we can finish February, March, April, whatever the start date is for Demon Slayer, April, whatever. So if I did 2 episodes a week across, yeah, something that has a nice like 20 episode-ish sweet spot would be good. Overlord is only 13. Okay. Death Note tier? That's a bold statement. Y'all are making some bold statements. I mean, I'll watch anything if it's good. Like, I never thought... Yeah, I could say I'm into the more, like, Attack on Titan, Death Note, sci-fi, otherworldly abilities and stuff, but, like, Vinland Saga is pretty much about as straightforward as you can get. There's no demons, there's no powers, there's no abilities, there's no this, there's no that. So if it's good, it's good. Invincible and B tier. Is the second season good? Is it? Because it's done, right? What if season 2 isn't finished? Oh, okay, okay. You're trying to have the hype beast lives in Gurren Log. Does it? Should I give Gurren Lagann a quick Google search? Should I read a summary on it, or is that spoiling too much? Hey, appreciate you stopping by. Go get that sleep. That 8 a.m. Sunday work gonna hit different. Jogo or Dabi? Jogo. What is this solo leveling shit? Is solo leveling something that's like brand new starting or what? Is this brand new? It was... Like, is this about to get its first anime? Is that what everyone's freaking out about? Like, solo leveling's getting like its first thing? The solo leveling anime is scheduled to premiere on Crunchyroll on January 6th. The official social media account of the show recently made the announcement online. Do we know how many episodes it's getting? There's been a lot of chatter about this. I'm not gonna watch that trailer. I just want to. Do we have a name on episodes? Do we have a? Do we have episode length, episode numbers? Anybody got that? Okay, so this hasn't come out yet. Okay. So we don't know how many episodes, but it's coming out. Okay. Gurren Lagann takes place in a fictional future where Earth is ruled by the Spiral King. Interesting character designs here. This came out in 2007, and is it fully finished as well? There's movies? How many episodes total? 28? Is it just 2 seasons? Is that it? I'm not reading any of this. I'm just trying to scroll through it real quickly so I'm not getting spoiled on whatever it is. Just skimming. Not even looking at the screen. Not trying to have them hit me with anything crazy. Interesting. Okay. Episode guide, perhaps? How many seasons are we talking? 27, is that it? Or does it keep going? So it's 27 episodes total. It's 26, like it's in out 27 episodes. That's it. That's all of it. Wow. Really? So it's in and out in 27 episodes and it's hitting that hard? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That could be up for debate. I guess I'll have to see what people want to see more. Is like, do I want to watch Solo Leveling as it comes out with everybody else to kind of like... Because, I mean, both of these are always going to be there. Gurren Lagann isn't going anywhere. Solo Leveling isn't going anywhere. But you guys know how the game has to be played. The game. Do we want to watch Solo Leveling with everybody while it's buzzing on Twitter, while it's trending on Instagram and YouTube, episodes as they're coming out, so I can have my content out when everybody else has... You get what I'm saying. So do we want to just do that and save Gurren Lagann for like later in the spring and the summer, or... Depends. I've never heard of Prison School. Oh, they got a Chainsaw Man panel coming up in 5 minutes? Oh, wow. Alright, appreciate you stopping by, Sam. What the hell? I mean, the reviews are crazy, though. 4,000 reviews, and it's essentially 5-star. That shot, or whatever that is, looks insane. Trippy. Ooh. Connor, we will be on Arcane Season 2. I know it's coming out this year, right? I really fumbled the ball not reacting to that because I play League of Legends. So I loved Arcane, but I reacted to it. I watched it on my own time. So that might have been a fumbling on my part. But yes, Arcane Season 2. We will be on 100%, whether 2 people watch it or not. That's coming out in November. Ooh-wee. Okay. We will be in there. We will be in there. How many of y'all's first... Because I'm sure everybody's watched it, if not close to it. Was Arcane your first exposure to League of Legends? Have you never played the game? A lot of people's reaction channels that are kind of popular today, they started with Arcane that I've seen. Had no idea what League of Legends was. Couldn't even tell you what console it was played on. No. Doesn't change my opinion. Arcane was the first exposure. That's crazy. So you guys had no idea who these characters were when they popped up on screen. So you got some people that have played League of Legends that knew who Jinx and Caitlyn and Jace and Victor and Vi were. And there's some others of you that hear those names, like Echo, and you're just like, oh, new character. That's crazy. I guess it could be no different if someone had like read a manga as like an anime's coming out. Some anime only people would be like, oh, I don't know who that is. And manga people would be like, oh shit, that's Jinx. And other people are like, okay, so what? Yeah, Alan, I would suggest watching Arcane. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I should have reacted to it. I just didn't know like people were actually going to watch it. That shit was insane. I'll be curious kind of where they go with it because the success of it was massive. Massive. That I don't know how deep they plan to take this. I mean, Netflix is going to keep throwing money at them. Netflix is struggling, so if they can get a successful series... I mean, 9 out of 10 on IMDb, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, 10 out of 10 on IGN. Like, come on now. They have over 100 characters they could introduce. And they covered less than 10 of them in Season 1. There's a lot of playable characters. I'm trying to think, we got Jinx, Vi, Caitlyn, Jace, Victor, Echo, Heimer, Singed, which is no longer his name, Warwick, who is yet to be discovered. So maybe 10 or so characters. They've got so many they could introduce. So I'm curious, is it gonna be a continuation story, or is it gonna be a world building story? Like, are we just gonna follow from the point of view of like Vi and Jinx as they go along? Or are we gonna go to different parts of the world and like slowly tie in the stories? I think they should do it that way. Introduce us to a brand new group of characters, brand new group of cast, and have them interact with maybe Jinx and Vi towards the end. Or are you just going to have us follow Vi and them as they go along? I think they should introduce all of it, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, definitely check it out. Hey, Peak, you're missing out, man. You're missing out. They have a mobile version, but it's like a different game. It's like it's a made for mobile version, you know? So like if you're on mobile and I'm on PC, we can't really play like that, but there's a mobile version. Yeah, if we can get into Noxus, like they brought up Noxus in last episode when what's her name's mother showed up. She's like, "Hey, your boy Jace is over here inventing some wild shit. Noxus needs it for like the upcoming wars and shit." We get into Noxus, there's a lot they could there's a lot that get introduced with all of it. So it's a very big world building. Very big world building. I mean, I don't know what all One Piece has to offer, but you're talking One Piece level. Like the characters have so much depth and backstory built into them. And there's 50, 60, 70 plus characters that if you covered where every single character comes from, their backstories, introduce them, you're getting on like, I don't know, you're getting a Marvel Endgame Infinity War type shit. There's so many characters. So I hope that they go that route. But we'll see. We haven't played League in the Discord, but we could. I don't know if I have anybody in there that plays. It said Made in the Abyss was a girl that befriended a... I don't want to read the plot. Can I not get a quick summary without reading the plot? Jonathan Joestar, nicknamed Jojo, becomes involved in a battle against his stepbrother, who is intent on taking control of the Joestar fortune. I hear Jojo's like funny. Is it actually though? And is Jojo's completely done? Like it's done? It's wrapped up, or are they still... What's up with that? Hey, if anybody's ever trying to play League, let me know. Have been playing Fortnite. But no, now that they got rid of the OG map, it doesn't hit the same anymore. It just doesn't hit the same. I don't like the new update. That's why me and my buddy stopped playing. When they started introducing like all these like bounty shit and these battle boss layers and henchmen, it was like, what is this shit? So that's when I fell off. And I think that's when I got into League. Was that around COVID time? Yeah, I think it was, or right after COVID. That's what pushed me to League and Apex, to be honest. Oh, we'll always watch Joe. We'll always start out in things and subbed unless everybody tells me. Arcane under attack on... Honestly? Arcane Season 1 would be up here. That shit would be up here, no bullshit. Probably behind Vinland Saga. Arcane would be right there. Made in the Abyss seems kind of trippy. JoJo's first 6 parts are done. 6 parts out of how many? Hmm. 8 completed parts. 6 parts. 8 completed parts animated or 8 completed parts written? Seven and 9 to continue already. Oof. Okay. I wish I could remember that question I had before we got sidetracked that I had about these, but I forgot. We already talked about best ending, worst ending. We already talked about if you could go back and rewatch, what would you change? Or if you could go back and rewatch, what would you do? Most of us said Attack on Titan. Some people said Hunter x Hunter. Of the... Here, we'll try to wrap this up soon. What are we going on? 2 o'clock in the morning here shortly? Of the completed stories here, animes only. Attack on Titan, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, Z, Super, Monster, etc. If there was one thing you could change about any of their endings that you think would make it just peak, what would you change? One major plot point towards the end that you think could have swayed it to be like considered one of the best ever. Trying to think here. Naruto? I was thinking about Naruto as well. But there's no way there's no way Madara gets to win with the infinite Tsukuyomi. So I'm trying to think from a storytelling purpose, even if you don't introduce the whole Kaguya storyline. I guess the only way, Naruto and Sasuke just have to end up taking him out, I guess, is how that would go. I don't know how that could have gone. Like I said, with Death Note, if you could have made a way that Light wins, but somehow still gets his name written down. I think we had a suggestion that maybe he just ends up in old age, just kind of ruling and winning, and Ryuk decides that like it isn't as fun and as exciting anymore, and he lets Light know that he's gonna write his name down. Monster, Fullmetal endings here. I'm trying to think of the endings that we have here. Ooh, that's not bad. In Dragon Ball Super, all the universes stay destroyed? Or the Super Dragon Balls don't have the power to resurrect entire universes? Or that's just like not allowed or something? That wouldn't have been bad. Oh, for sure. I feel like the Kaguya... But that's the thing. I don't know how he was in his writing process. Was Kaguya always going to be a thing? And it just happened to be a springboard to get into Boruto? Or did they know that they wanted to continue the series into Boruto, so he wrote that into the ending of Naruto? I have no idea. Chainsaw Man movie. Interesting to see how that goes. I'm trying to think how I would change this. I don't know. I need to see how Mob wraps up these last 5 episodes. People really talk about that Chainsaw Man, so I'm expecting big things. People wanted me to get to the manga because it was so great, so I'm expecting when this movie or anime pops out to it to be, it better deliver. Should better deliver. I think we're kind of set on this. I'm gonna screen cap this so I can post it. Yeah, so once we finish these up, looks like we might get a JoJo solo leveling Gurren Lagann to start the year by about mid-January. I'd say about a month from now, we'll start one of those. Will take us into Demon Slayer, My Hero, and whatever else might come out summertime, which gets us into Arcane Season 2. Ooh-wee. As we probably get into another 100-something episodes of One Piece. And we'll be a good chunk into Vagabond as well. I mean, we'll be into the hundreds, 200s of Vagabond as well. Okay. We got some content coming up. Made in the Abyss as well, yeah. Yeah, Chainsaw Man's at an interesting point. I'm very curious to see how that goes. Oh, the 100. Wait, which one is it? Is it the animated drama series? This one? Which one is it? Is it an anime? What am I looking up here? The TV show? Which one of these am I looking at? This? Or the 100 Girlfriends? No, I don't think that's it. The 100 Season 1? Just the 100? What the fuck is this? This here? This? Okay, cool. Oh, so it's real. Oh, it just ended. When a nuclear Armageddon destroys civilization on Earth, the only survivors are those on the 12 international space stations in orbit at the time. Ooh. 3 generations later, the 4,000 survivors living on a space ark of linked stations see their resources dwindle and face draconian measures established to ensure humanity's future. Desperately looking for a solution, the Ark's leaders send 100 juvenile prisoners back to the planet to test its habitability. Having always lived in space, the exiles find the planet fascinating and terrifying. But the fate of the human race on their hands, that doesn't sound bad at all. 7.6 on IMDb, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not bad. Do I recognize any of these actors or actresses?
Hey, it's Tate McRae. Check out my song X's on the
I don't
Pop
think so.
Certified playlist right here on YouTube.
Actually, I feel like I recognize her. Recognize him? This is the girl from Fear the Walking Dead, no? Yeah, that is her. I don't know if I recognize any of these other characters. Oh, I recognize it. What is he from? What is he from? He's a villain in something. I don't know what the hell I recognize his face from. I feel like he's in a lot of shit. That's probably about it. Why does he look like Taika Waititi? I mean, that story doesn't sound bad, to be honest. I hear people talk about Arrow too. I'm trying to think what's pumping right now. What shows that are hitting streets? Yeah, we'll probably do. I think the last one we'll do is a Berserk stream. before it all wraps up. I guess, are there any other questions or anything we should go over or ask before we, I guess, wrap that thing on up? I don't want to keep y'all too late. Shit, some of y'all said you had work. Ooh, they're an hour each. 100 episodes an hour each. Oh, he plays the villain in Arrow. Very interesting to see what this solo leveling shit's about. We're not gonna watch it, but I mean, we could watch it. Should we? Does this shit even have subtitles? You can't click on Twitter on stream. You never know what'll fucking pop up on Twitter. Somebody will be getting killed. Somebody will be naked. You can't click on shit. Favorite character of 2023. I guess it might be cheating if I say Aaron, huh? Because he wasn't just 2023 and he had episodes of build-up.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps. With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across and stay on track. So your team
Trying to think of like who's like relatively new. I mean, is it Mahito? Is he I mean, he's villain of 2023 now. If people want to see TV shows or movies, I don't mind doing TV shows or movies. People just don't really ever seem to recommend those. And then the one or two times that people do recommend those, they don't really get any traction when we try to vote for them or anything. People just want to see animes or mangas, it seems. Yeah, I see a lot of hype for this, but I can't tell if it's just like, oh, because like it's people's favorite manga, so that's why it's getting hype. Or like it's actually going to be like that shit. I don't know. This is going to be on Netflix? Yeah, we got to do those too. There's not even subtitles for this, so I'll just be clicking just to click. Many of the Abyss sounds very interesting as well. How many episodes is this? Is this ongoing? Is this done? Is Made in the Abyss 100% done? The images look trippy. Like, what is this animation? What? Like, this has to be video game. Like, this isn't the story. This has to be video game. Or maybe this might be real. I don't know. Why does that look so... I don't even want to say funky in a bad way. Like, what is that? What am I looking at? What the hell am I looking at? Not finished. It looks really like what? This looks like a PC, like you can buy off of Steam or some shit. Am I even looking at the right thing? Like, I think this is just a video game. No, this says manga series. Does it have its own game? What am I looking at? I really don't even know what I'm looking at here. Does it have its own video game? What the hell? Oh, that is it. Interesting. I mean, I don't hate it. It looks very, very trippy. That art style is freaking me out. Oh, Solo Leveling is a completely colored manga. Oh, shit. Okay, I mean, we're getting some suggestions. We're gonna be trying to get an anime in between January and the start of Demon Slayer, so that'll be the plan. Well, y'all got anything else? Any final questions, comments, concerns? Keep me up to date with any Chainsaw Man news, Hunter x Hunter news, Vinland Saga Season 3 announcements, Dragon Ball, if it is canceled, if it's not canceled, what the hell's going on with that? I think we said Demon Slayer's coming out April, My Hero in May, or I might have those reversed. We're not getting Jujutsu Season 3 in 2024, are we? Yes, Sloppertooth, go for it. If people want TV shows, I'll be all in the TV show. I mean, we're going to watch Arcane. I don't know if that counts as a TV show, but... So I was going to do the colored version of Vagabond, but some people told me, like, you really need to read the black and white version. Okay, Jujutsu Kaisen is not coming out next year. Cool. Have not seen Snowfall. I see it all over YouTube. Never actually watched it. Is that the one that... No. What's the one that's on when they're on the train? Is that Snowfall? Snowpiercer? What's that TV shows where they're stuck on the train and there's like classes, like society classes on the train? But it's like the rest of the world lives on the train, like that's it? Like that's society? Is that Snowpiercer? Snowfall? What is that? Question for Chainsaw Man movie. Will it be in theaters? Oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh, Snowpiercer is a movie? Question. I know you did Demon Slayer Season 3, but minus Episode 1. What else did you like about it? I liked the building of the Hashiras and the Upper Moons. I wasn't a fan of like the split of the other Upper Moon. I'm like, okay, so they're splitting again. But seeing how they split with the like bent up different personalities and the different abilities was kind of cool. And seeing that like final like Kid Buu version one was pretty dope. I thought what's the girl Hashira's name that has like the free flowing sword? I thought that was pretty dope as well. Seeing Homeboy with the buck shotgun, even though I don't really know if it did much. Why is Demon Slayer Season 4 going to be 5? Oh, because they're doing a movie, right? Is the movie also what the 5 episodes are covering? Or is it more quality? Or why are we getting a season that's only 5 episodes? Why even put it out? Yeah, I didn't mind Genya. Mitsuri. Jujutsu Kaisen favorite character. It was Toto there for a little bit, but it sounds like we're not going to be getting much of Toto there for a while. Sukuna and Toji, excuse me. But again, Toji's not on screen anymore either. So who alive? Maybe Fate Ghetto probably would be it. And Sukuna probably would have to be those two. Because you have to sit there and ask yourself, like, who else do we really get on screen that you could even have as your favorite character? Yuji, I guess. It's not Megumi. And if you get past those two, who are we really talking about? I like the curse speech user, but he's barely on screen. He doesn't even speak. So it'd probably be Sukuna or Toji, but Toji's probably not going to be on screen anymore anytime soon. So maybe the Fate Ghetto is in the running. Short arc, only 5 episodes is crazy. Do they not just want to combine it into whatever the next arc is going to be and have it be a regular length season, or what? Or do they feel the pressure that they've got to put out some type of content this year? Choso, yes, Choso, yeah, Choso as well. He's up there. I need a little bit more of Choso though, because he was only on screen for what, 2 episodes, if that? I'm trying to think of, like, you know how big like anime seasons are. Like, does 5 episodes feel like a waste? Because, like, is it going to be the typical wait again? Are we going to get 5 episodes and then wait again a whole another calendar year plus for the next season? Would you not just want to combine that into whatever, then like flow the arcs into it? I don't know. Maybe they got it planned out better than me. I'm not sure. Favorite My Hero, Mirio, Todoroki, Endeavor. All Might, but we know what that's turned into. That might be about it. I know I'm probably forgetting some because I can't remember all the characters off the top of my head. But yeah, definitely Mirio, Todoroki, Endeavor. I like Hawks as well. All Might. Yeah, I have a feeling they probably want to do that with Demon Slayer. It probably makes them a lot of money. So just get these 5 episodes out, try to milk what you can off of it, and then say like, hey, guess what? Next season's coming out right again next year. I guess. Hawks for sure. Best Genius is cool, but he gets so like he was just left off screen for a while. That's like, dang, can you get out there, buddy? Can you help us a little bit? I've never really been a Gojo fan either. It's like if they want to seal his ass up, seal his ass up. Like, I don't even know if I have Gojo in my top 5 characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, to be honest. What's y'all's... I guess we'll wrap it up here in the next, like, minute or two. What is it about to go? 2 a.m.? Yeah, we won't go much further than 2 a.m. What are we going on? Almost 3.5 hours. Favorite quirk in My Hero? That's been on screen so far? Favorite one quirk. I'm not talking about Deku's got 6 quirks mixed in one that lets him amplify different quirks to get this, or I'm not talking about Shigaraki with stacked multipliers. What's your favorite one-of-one quirk in My Hero? Mine's... oh, God. Momo? The one that creates shit? They can just create anything? Overhaul. Yeah, I didn't even think about Overhaul. I was gonna say Mirio, or that what the Doctor has, like the I don't know, whatever his quirk is that like lets him like not age or like rejuvenate, whatever you want to say. But it's got to be Overhaul, no? It's got to be Overhaul.
Find your favorite movies and TV here on YouTube.
It's got to be. It's got to be. It just has to be Overhaul's quirk. I don't see how it couldn't be. Holy shit, that's busted. Mirio's, I do like Mirio's. Mirio and Overhaul would definitely... I mean, Mirio and Overhaul are my top... or like in my top 5 characters at all. I mean, Overhaul's just dismantling and putting shit back together. But like, the confusion of that is like, can he just like constantly heal then? Because he would put Eri back together, but he couldn't essentially put back together like his grandfather, right? The one that was sick. Could he not disassemble it and put it back together brand new, or how does that work? I don't know the specifics on it. If he could like reverse sickness or put you back together slightly beforehand you got sick, because that's an Eri type ability. He's just dismantling and putting shit back together. Yeah, we can't do the all for because I mean, of course everyone's gonna take that and just stockpile what they want and pick and choose and. Oh, he could. So he does have that ability. And so what? Overhaul purposely chose to not do it? And then when he lost the ability and thought of his father, he thought and wished like, oh, I should have when I had the opportunity? Is that what was happening there? He regretted not doing it when he should have? Like, was he purposely letting him suffer or what? It's fucked. It has to be Overhaul's ability. I mean, call it what you want. It just has to be. Has to be. Give my man his hands back. That's all I gotta say. Give him his hands back. See you on the other side, buddy. Good luck. It has to be Overhaul. It has to be. I don't know how you go with a different ability. Now, maybe you're someone that's like like, I really like lightning. So if you want to go with that. Or you really like ice and fire, so you go to Todoroki. Like, I won't fight you there. But I just think of, like, just the best one you could get has to be, like, Overhaul. It needs to be in the discussion. God, Overhaul's got to be the best villain of the show. Fluff it. And then I guess of the Hashiras that we've seen, who's your favorite Hashira? There's still some yet to be seen, so if you're a manga reader, you might be a little bit biased to some of the ones that we haven't seen yet. But of the ones that we've seen, who's your favorite? It's got to be Rengoku, no? Tengen? Gi? Wow! No Rengoku love out here? And then favorite Devil's Fruit that I've seen. I mean, it's got to be my man Enru, no? I believe he'll come back as one of the final villains. You heard it here first. It's so shit that, like, his Devil's Fruit was wasted so early in the story, because you know how most stories go. It goes like that with Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, that, like, the early villains seem so badass at the beginning, but then, like, when we kind of get a couple hundred chapters in, you're like, holy shit, remember when we used to think so-and-so was so strong? Bro, you are the embodiment of lightning itself. Put a hockey on top of that and some other stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I think Rengoku would be my favorite of what I've seen so far in the anime. I feel like I need more of Giyu on screen. Yeah, Rengoku. And then favorite Devil's Fruit that I've seen so far, I mean, it's got to be Enru. I don't know if I've really seen... Okaji's is pretty great. I'm not going to lie to you. The ice one is pretty great. I need to get a little bit more of Blackbeard's to get a deeper grip and understanding on that shit. I'm trying to think of what else we've really seen. I haven't really seen them. I mean, we've gotten some, but they've been so one-offs of, like, just base level Devil's Fruit usage that, like, I don't know. Like, what's his name seems so disappointing at the moment. Kid, with that Magneto shit. I had so many more hopes for what that was going to be. I still need a greater grasp on what the hell Law's doing. I don't know what the fuck Kizaru's doing. So give me like another month's worth to get deeper into these abilities, and I might have some differing opinions. Bro, Enru would be top dick, and I don't want to hear a different discussion about it if he was in the story where the anime is now, with mastered hockey and whatever. Oh my lord. And I don't even know what all hockey has to offer, but... No, we haven't gotten to... I've seen Kizaru use whatever this light, glowing gold foot shit is, but we haven't gotten it explained. Oh, Overhaul for sure. There's no debate on Overhaul. Like, that is... Yes. Law is Levi's voice actor. You're right. Now that I think about it, that is 100% him. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't see how there could be a different... If we're not saying you could take All for One or One for All, I don't see how you could take a different quirk other than Overhaul's. Well, that's because they wrote Enru that way. If we got if Skypiea or whatever you want to introduce us to Enru, like in wherever we're at now, oh man. I know he's never coming back, but oh man, if he ever, I mean, not if he ever did, it's never happening, but just how busted he would. I mean, he's moving at the speed of lightning, by the way, intangible as fuck. Little to no counters, of course, besides the main character of the story. Like, holy shit. And then you give him the power system on top of it. Holy shit. Like, I mean, anybody that's like pure elements anyway is already busted. But man, Favorite quirk that Deku has? It's probably whatever he unlocked this season that like allowed him to like stock up, or remember he was able to move at like All Might speed or power now when he was able to like, I don't know what he did. One of the guys quirk that allowed him to like stockpile, I don't know, friction or some shit. Bro, Enru's busted. You don't have to convince me. Enru is top to me. Man could sense it. Yeah. He was just introduced into the story too early. He's one of those early anime villains that like, damn, imagine if he had the power like what everybody can do now type stuff. And you get that in a lot of stories, so. My biggest disappointment with One Piece so far, I mean, the pacing is just such a bitch. It's just so drawn out. I don't know, there doesn't seem to be any stakes, like we always win type thing. Typical, like, the typical formula of like split up, come together, Luffy defeats the bad guy. Split up, come together, Luffy defeats the bad guy. It's a little rough. Berserk and Code Geass a little low. Well, I haven't finished Berserk, but if I could see Berserk moving up. Appreciate it, Jay. Yeah, we're going to wrap up here in the next 2 to 3 minutes. It's already 2 o'clock in the morning on the East. Yeah, I know people really wanted... A lot of people have been saying doing the One Piece manga, but man, I've committed to 400 episodes. By God, we're going to finish this. Yeah, I need One Piece stakes to be a little bit higher. I need the formula to just deviate just a little bit, and we're kind of getting that a little bit in this arc, but then we kind of go right back to it again. But the introduction of like the Celestial Dragons and another Admiral, other interesting Devil's Fruits, it's the same formula, but it's a little different arc, and it's a little quicker pace to this arc. I'll give them that. But which one was it that everybody says? Which one is it? Is it Black Clover that I'm never supposed to watch, or is it Fairy Tail, or is it Seven Deadly Sins? Which one is it? It's one of those 3 that I'm told to never watch. I definitely want to check it out, Slobbertooth. Is it Fairy Tail, Black Clover, or Seven Deadly Sins? One of those I'm told to never even speak of or watch. Both Fairy Tail and Seven Deadly don't watch? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Tokyo Revengers Black Clover is not listed. I see some pretty cool clips that I've seen, but I can't remember what if it's from Seven Deadly, Fairy Tail, or Black Clover. I don't know. One of them looks like it's kind of decent looking. Where would I rank the Straw Hats? Well, half of them I hate. But I'm trying to think, like, where would I rank them? I guess in other groups. Well, most groups are big 3s, you know? No other story really has like a group that deep that they try to give like equal screen time to a majority of the time. I mean, I definitely prefer the Straw Hats over, I guess, the big 3 of Naruto's. Over the big 3 of Demon. Over the big 3 of Jujutsu. Big 2.5, she might still be alive. Mob Psycho doesn't really have a cast like that. Tokyo Ghoul really doesn't either. I prefer them over Hunter x Hunter's cast. There's really only one in Death Note. Dragon Ball doesn't. I mean, Dragon Ball has a decent little size cast on them. Actually, we prefer Dragon Ball's cast. If we're including Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, like 17, Boo, I probably prefer that group up to this point. Just from an enjoyable standpoint, I know One Piece is much deeper, and yes, of course, I agree with that. But sometimes when I see Usopp and Nami on screen, God, I just want to take them out. I mean, if we're ranking Straw Hats amongst themselves, Zoro's number 1. Zoro's number 1. It's not even close. We can just go ahead and put that there. I'm trying to think who I would have number 2. Zoro, Robin. Zoro, Robin, Brook, Luffy. Those are the top 4. Then I would probably go Chopper, Frankie, Sanji. Nami, Usopp. Are we 9 deep? Am I forgetting anybody? I think I'd go in that order. Stop. Yeah, don't get me started on Luffy. Zoro, I mean, if Zoro and Robin aren't your top 2, or at least in your top 3, I don't know what show you've been watching. It's Zoro and Robin. Zoro 1, Robin 2. I like Brook, he's 3, but maybe he'll annoy me as we go because he's been on screen the least. Then Luffy. Then you can go ahead and put Frankie, Sanji. I mean, excuse me, Chopper, Sanji. Round out the rest. Just put Usopp at the bottom. Sanji can't hit a girl. He would let the entire Straw Hat crew get a bullet to the face if it meant not having to hit a woman. I can't take it. Yes, 50% of the population is his weakness. Like, it's just his weakness. And if I see Nami take out another group with that dumbass power pole again, I'm gonna lose my mind. She's just a mobile Enru. She can just take lightning with her wherever she goes. Still don't even understand how that shit works indoors. Like, she summons shit indoors too, by the way. Vivi? I liked Vivi. I like her more than Nami, more than Usopp. More than Sanji? Maybe. But it's Zoro, it's Robin. 1, 2. However you want to crisscross the rest, that's totally up to you. But the thing is, like, I feel that Nami is useless. They just randomly write in these fodder moments for her to just beat up on cadets in random low levels that, like, nobody's, like, threatened by. Like, Sakura handles that type of low level shit too, you know? Like, she just beats up on puppets, like, essentially type shit. Like, Sakura had her moment against Sasori's puppets. I feel like that's all Nami does. She just beats up on low-level puppets, low-level grunts. And every time there's a moment, do you realize every time that they've had Nami or Usopp on screen to actually fight somebody that's like a trained fighter, a trained killer, a trained whatever, it's the most bullshit ways that they get to survive. These people, these CP9 members or whatever, could have blinked on Nami and taken her head off in the quickest way possible. It's always some long, drawn-out expose. They gotta talk to her, they toy with her, they mess around with her, and Nami's able to whip some shit out of her ass and get out of it again. Do you realize she could just be blinked on and taken out at like 90% of the time? Like, what are we talking about? Nami's in your top 3, JD. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Sanji has too much of a weakness. You could say he's about the crew and he would sacrifice himself and put his head down for Luffy and let himself die. Until a woman opponent shows up. Then the whole crew just dies. He lets down Luffy. He lets down the whole crew. It's too much of a weakness for Sanji to be considered in the top. If he's ride or die on business, absolutely not. He can't be trusted. He can't be trusted. It's a coin toss if I can trust him, depending on who the opponent is, by the way. I will give Usopp that. He did have a moment to run the 1v1 with her. I would give her that. I would give him that. Usopp has had some moments that's like, okay, I'll give you a little bit of respect. I don't know how Nami keeps surviving this shit. I'll be dead ass with you. Usopp just whines too much. He's this story's Zenitsu. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And thinks he can just walk back in the crew after he left. He's lucky Zoro wasn't captain. We would have left his ass there. Monster was just too slow, man. It was just too slow. I mean, where did we even power scale Nami? She's the biggest she's the weakest one, weakest one physically on the group too. Usopp is over here. At least he's taken like 5-ton steel bats to the face. You know how much time Usopp has gotten his ass beat? Nami rarely gets her ass beat, by the way. They'll always have her get like, maybe an explosion will go off next to her and she'll get like blasted to the side, or like, it's very subtle. Usopp gets his ass beat. I'm talking, he's gotten his face bludgeoned in. How many times has he got his nose snapped? Missing front, like he's gotten the shit beat out of him. Nami's is always some like secondary explosion, or like she'll randomly get like pushed or kicked, but they don't ever have her get beat. Jesus. They had Robin get damn near degraded and humiliated by the fucking CP9 leader. How many times was he curb stomping her, kicking her in the face down the stairs, slapping her, calling her a whore and all this shit? Nami would never. I feel like the most damage Nami has ever suffered in the show is the damage she did to herself. If we're being 100 with it. I'd say Zenitsu is better than Usopp from what I'm hearing. Might not be wrong. Yeah, I would say that he doesn't show female characters get beat up, but he did show Robin getting like disrespected. Might as well spit in Robin's face at that point. I think Krillin's got a good mental. The thing is, I wouldn't even say Nami is a glass cannon because she doesn't have any power. Like, if she doesn't have that pole on her, like already twisted together, and she's just caught out lacking, she's fucked. It's over. She has no devil's fruit, no hockey, no general strength at all. And that's the thing, it's like, we know Nami's not a fighter, but then why do you keep putting her in situations where she's fighting like bounty hunters, CP9 members, people that are known to be fighters, to be killers, to be hunters of people and things? How does she keep getting in these situations and then keep getting out of them damn near physically unharmed? It's insane. If you want to keep having her like lightning static shock the grunt level Marines, sure, but my god, it's actually insane. Yeah, I keep hearing like as the series goes, Robin and Nami just get like progressively thicker. I don't know how that happens or why that was the stylistic choice. Like, they keep putting Nami in situations and she starts winding up that tempo. It's like, okay, here we go. Here we go. But I feel like even... The thing is, though, even though they seem to give her the weakest of the groups that she's fighting are so ahead of her. But they always, like, they make them arrogant, they make them whatever. If she ever gets, like, the weakest of the group that's, like, that's standing on business, she's dead. Dead. And I get that you have to do that because she just would be killed. She just would be killed. But you tell me half those CP9 members don't just like shave and finger jab her to death just like in one go. Yeah, it's yeah, I'd rather than just like not even have Nami involved in fights. I'd rather have Nami off to the side, like she's an Armin or something, to where like she's just mentally trying to put things together or find out villains' weaknesses or something that like analyze the situation, than having her actually like in it. But what can you do? Like, she never trained. First of all, none of them ever trained, by the way. None of them train besides Zoro. But somehow every one of them is coming back with a new ability every like new fight. So I don't know. I don't know. But hey, we'll see. Everyone just does their off-screen training, I guess. Or that off-season, off-screen training. Mm-hmm. Every time she comes up, she's like, ooh, I got this new trick. I think to this point in the story, Zoro and Luffy are even. That you could call it a coin toss if they fought 10 out of 10 times right now, where they're at episode 400. So that means Luffy's up to gear 3, gear 2. And Zoro's up to whatever he just recently did in the Enies Lobby arc. They both seem to have hockey abilities, but probably don't know what they do know or what they can do. If you told me they fought 10 out of 10 times when Luffy won 6 out of the 10, I'd say fine. If you told me it was 5 out of 5, fine. But I do think we're slowly I see us getting to that point where Luffy is gonna take off and they'll still make Zoro strong, but it won't be like enough. Up to this point, if you told me they were running a race and they were stride by stride, and maybe at some point in the race, Luffy was like 3 steps ahead and then Zoro took 3 steps ahead and then they were even, I wouldn't fight you on that. But I feel like we're maybe now getting to a point where like Luffy, instead of him taking 3-step gaps ahead, he's going to start taking like 10-step gaps ahead. And Zoro's going to maybe make up like 2 of those steps. And then Luffy's going to take another 5 and Zoro makes up like 1. And we're never going to be able to like actually close that gap again. I feel like we're going to go there. Now Zoro will probably still be strong. So Luffy will probably be stronger than like 99% of characters. And I think Zoro will be stronger than like 90%, which is still makes Zoro pretty much one of the strongest characters in the show. But you know how it goes. It's not Zoro's show. And that's just kind of what it has to end up being. Now, if you're telling me Zoro gets a devil's fruit on him, I mean, let's throw hands. Yeah, Zoro's the only one actually putting in work. Yeah, and it's like, that's another thing. It's like we don't know like where Zoro kind of like, because there's no devil's fruit and there's no power system, so it's like I don't know what his swords will be able to get him to do. And then you also have to tell yourself too, if Luffy does go gear 3 and it does not put him down, you better pray Zoro doesn't respond in the recharge time, or what is Luffy gonna do? Now, if you're telling me that Luffy never has to go gear 2, go gear 3, maybe. But if he does have to go gear 3 and it doesn't put him down, you're kind of just sitting. Fullmetal it's just not that good, Monarch, unfortunately. Hockey infused, and I don't know. I don't know what Zoro does. The thing is, like, we kind of haven't. We know what Luffy does. We've seen gear 2. We've seen gear 3. I don't know kind of what the sword's level is at these days. Like, what's the new trick? What's the new slash? What's the new everything? And what's interesting too is, like, I feel like maybe Luffy wouldn't know that as well. You know how Usopp like analyzed Luffy when they were fighting? And he's like, I've been watching you and, you know, all these type of things. I feel like Zoro's got a pretty good grasp and look too on like what he does. And I feel like Zoro might be able to tacticianly put something together that maybe would get the jump on Luffy that Luffy wouldn't have to get the jump on him, other than like Gear 2 just blitzing the shit out of him. Luffy's doesn't really put shit together like that. So I'd be interested to see how that goes, but I do feel like we're going to get to a point probably within the next 50 to 100 episodes that like we're never really going to be able to have these discussions again of like, oh, if Zoro could put him dead, because I don't know. I don't think Sanji and Zoro's even close in my opinion though. I don't think it's ever been close, nor is it close right now. I mean, Oda might say that, but I don't see Sanji. Maybe I need to see more of Sanji, but I just don't think Sanji's that like strong to me, in my opinion. That could be up for debate. I mean, he's definitely stronger than the lower one. He's stronger than a Chopper or a Nami or, you know, stuff like that, but I just don't see him hanging with what Zoro's able to do or what Zoro's able to put down. I think if the Straw Hat crew always had to fight other people, and it was always like, hey, Luffy, you take the first strongest, Zoro's always going to take the second, and Sanji would take the third. I don't feel like Sanji's ever taken the second or the first. And I feel like Zoro could always take the second, and if he had to, take the first if he had to. In my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I know, like, you go to any anime tier site, they're gonna have Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood ranked 9.9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, first ranked overall anime, but it was just never that for me. An argument could be made it's somewhere between 6.5 and 7. Oh, Summary of Legend of Korra. Avatar Legend is set 70 years after the events of Avatar and follows Korra, the next Avatar after Aang, who is from the Southern Water Tribe. With earth, water, and fire under her belt, Korra must master the art of airbending. Korra quest leads to her to Republic City, a virtual melting pot where benders and non-benders live together, but soon she discovers that the land is plagued by crime and growing anti-bending revolution. Threatens to tear the city apart while dealing with dangers. Korra begins to... Oh, Aang's son. Interesting. Where is the chat? Lost the chat. Okay, there we go. Well, here's the thing of like... Just raw... I feel like Enru had Luffy defeated so many times. Like, why are you just still pussyfooting around and not getting out? Crocodile did beat Luffy, by the way, if we're remembering this correctly. Crocodile damn near killed Luffy if it's not for someone coming out there and scooping him up and cleaning him up and shit. Like, that was already done. Dusted. Could Zoro defeat Luffy? The thing is, we don't get enough of like what Zoro is capable of. Like, we know he's strong, but like, I don't know what like the upper limit, the lower limit, or man. Yeah, I feel like Luffy always gets like reset buttons. Luffy gets his shit dusted or gets holes put in his chest or does whatever. and like somehow he gets flicked a sensu bean or gets to like restart. He gets like a star or a mushroom and gets to like, okay, let me run it back. Okay, let me run it back. So if you're telling me Zoro might get those same opportunities, then you tell me Zoro just doesn't dip his blades in water and handle crocodile or any type of liquid? Yeah, Robin had to save Luffy. Luffy got his shit done and dusted by Crocodile already. So it's... yeah, I don't see how Zoro deals with Enru. I don't see how he does that. And to be honest, I don't see how... like, Luffy might not be able to be shocked, but I don't know how Luffy actually ends up being able to actually even touch Enru. I need to go back and actually watch and see how that went down. So we'll see. It's a lot. It's a lot, but how do we get to 230? Did we not just say it's 2? But I'm saying if Enru just makes himself pure lightning, I don't know how Luffy's touching him. Like, I'm talking like the essence of lightning itself. What does it do? The rubber just gets to touch him and then the lightning just despawns back to his real body? Or like, what are we... I don't know. It'd be the same way of like Ace, or like turning yourself into ice, or turning yourself into smoke, or turning yourself into fire. How does one actually even touch that? Or get that, or get somebody to break out of that? I don't know.
Your favorite primetime channels are on YouTube. Catch the latest.
So like he's just blinking through the cosmos as lightning. Luffy just happens to touch that streak of lightning and now he's just deformed back down to a regular person? I don't know.
Here on YouTube.
True. Yeah, so it's a lot. And like even at that point in the story, Luffy definitely wasn't faster than... I don't know, I need to go back and watch that. Because, like, if you're Enru, okay, even if the lightning counters you, right, by the way, or even if the rubber counters you, Luffy's never faster than you at that point in the story. Now, maybe, sure. Do we not just, like, blink around and just, like, stab this man? Blink, stab, blink, stab, blink, stab, blink, stab. I don't know. Blink, slice, blink, slice, blink, slice. Like, Luffy is not competing with that lightning speed. Literally, lightning speed. So, I don't know. Because even if you get flustered, like, oh shit, my lightning is not affecting him. And he can actually touch me through my lightning when I do that. At that point in the story, Luffy is not sniffing the speed difference. So I just keep blinking on his ass. And I just, like, there was no tactical thought. It was like Enru was so shocked, like, holy shit. He's not affected by my lightning. I can't fight, and just like shuts down. Like, no, we just reassess. Like, your ability might always work, but it's not always going to 100% work. And you know he can't keep up with you speed-wise at all. It's not even close. I'm just going to keep blinking. And he's got the gold rod or trident or whatever he had. I'm just going to keep blinking on his ass and keep stabbing and blinking and stabbing. He can't keep up with me. So that's how I figured that would go. But Enru had to lose. So what are you going to do? And he didn't even, like, he lost, but like he just like said, I'm over this shit and got out of there. So the whole ending of that was a whole... No, Zareth, I agree with you. We had Luffy even defeated. How Luffy's even able to catch us on that airship as he's running up the fucking beanstalk with the gold thing weighing him down. None of that should ever, but we get it. It had to happen. What can you do? But yeah, I didn't like how that ended or how any of that made sense anyway. Oh, of course Luffy wins to plot. Of course, all main characters do. But I think if we're thinking about it logically, even though if you say Oda had to make a perfect counter to Enru because that was the only way to defeat him plot-wise in the story, I feel like if we break it down logically and Enru just thinks for a second, Luffy does not keep up with me in the fact of speed, and it's not even close. So that enough is enough to just, I think, win that fight, counter or not. I don't have to shock Luffy to defeat him. I can just stab him to death. And he can't keep up with me speed-wise, so how does he keep up with me stabbing him? I don't know. This is just anime, Monarch, just anime. Yeah, it was all a mess, but what can you do? But any final questions that we want to wrap up here before we go ahead and call it a day? Before we get to 3 in the morning, it was literally just 1:57. I don't know how we shot up to 2:37, but we'll try to go ahead and wrap it up. Any final questions, comments, concerns? Pell? I don't know if we got to the Pell part. But this is the ranking we went with. Some of this is going to be hard to rank because some of these stories are incomplete. My Hero, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, One Punch, Chainsaw. But that's just kind of where we're ranking them to the peaks of some of these. So some of these have a lot to prove here coming up. We're at episode 402 on Patreon. We just got to the part where Kizaru showed up and was trying to ask people if they could help him answer a question and shit, but he's over here like gold footing, lightning, whatever the hell he's doing to everybody else. There's fucking Kuma clones everywhere running around. If you want Yuji's fights to be more interesting, what kind of fan-made technique would you like him to have? Yeah, if I could see, what would I want Yuji to do? Because all he does is just like run and punch. It's just gone. But they've never really shown him to have an affinity for anything else. So what would he do? I probably wouldn't mind him being able to like make cursed weapons, like just out of pure cursed energy. I think would be a good, because I don't see him, I don't know, having an affinity to do anything. And he's more of a hand-to-hand sparer anyway. But if he could, you know how you can make like key weapons in Dragon Ball? If he can make like a keyblade that was just as strong as like some of the strongest cursed infused weapons that you could have, where he had like a key axe or a big old key fucking cursed energy warhammer, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, it's just pure raw energy. It's not like him having a sword that he pumps his energy into. He just like creates it. Appreciate that, Keith. Appreciate that, Tactician. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into a clear mind with Demon Slayer and hopefully they surprise us. Appreciate that, X8. It's gonna say Yuji's most famous quote. Yeah. Yeah, he just has cursed energy, but hopefully maybe he hones it or something. But if that's it and no one's got any final questions, I do appreciate y'all rolling through. We've been going for 3 hours and 50 minutes. I know it's going on 3 a.m. I feel my voice getting shot. I don't know how some of these streamers go. Like 7 days a week for like 10, 12-hour stream rotations. My voice taps out after about 2.5 hours. But if that's it, no final questions, Appreciate y'all coming through. Some of y'all been here for the majority of it. JD, Tactician, Keith, Slobbertooth, Pandas, X8, Classic, Slobbertooth. Some of these we might have said twice. Appreciate Connor, one of the Discord Patreon members, for making this tier list for us. And yeah, y'all take it easy. Vagabond and stuff will be coming up on Monday. Y'all know the deal. One Piece Tuesday, same shit Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we'll keep it going. Appreciate y'all as always.